and we knew that the right people would come in and they would do the standard thing. I've been to Remo Star Stadium, and you need to see the quality of the project that is going on in that place. That's an individual that understand the business of sport, of football, and that's exactly what we're saying. With Sporting Lagos, big shout out to Godwin Onana. He's someone that has been around for so long, and he knows that if you do the right thing, put the right place, put people at the right place, do the standard thing, don't cut corners, don't award bedroom decisions for clubs, you certainly get results. Now, I don't know how far Sporting Lagos will go, but the most important thing is that they've cemented their place at the elite division. They're already trained jobs at Inuba, they're already trained jobs at Remo Stars, and I'm loving it. I'm loving the conversation, I'm loving the energy. But the most important thing is that on one of the Saturdays, I'd rather just leave my house, probably when we're done with the studio or whatever it is, walk straight to any of the stadiums and enjoy quality football. I was privileged enough to watch Julius Berger when he was still playing in Lagos a couple of years back. Yes, I'm not that old, but I've been around football for a very long time. But I miss that energy. I miss the fact that you can wake up every day, you see someone that literally stays on your street, playing professional football. You see that dreams can actually come true. So for me, it's the big win for Sporting Lagos. That's what's about it today,
man. That was long. Let's keep it Monday though, and we'll get to Tuesday in a bit. Wisdom, you're a Chelsea fan. Let's talk about Mason Mount. How did you feel as a Chelsea fan losing Mason Mount to a rival club?
Don't be proud. This is it.
No, I don't think. Yeah, I don't have anything against Mason Mount actually, because I think he has paid his dues for Chelsea, because that guy he tried his best. He can't give what he don't have. So moving to Manchester United, I think is a good one. I don't have anything against him.
Roland, what is it taking to United? What is he offering United?
I think he offers them something close to helping Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro. It's just like, I feel like the way he's going to play specifically is just assisting both ends, so it's going to be basically an 8 that carries both ends. But being a fantastic move to United, not for me. I think it's just a mid move to United. I don't expect so much from him.
Alright, the thoughts of the guys. Let me know what you think about that. United fans, get in the air. I'd like to know what you think. What do you think Mason Mount can offer? What I found very fascinating about Mason Mount to United was his joy at moving to United. You could see how happy he was. I'm like, and he spent about 18-19 years at Chelsea, and
just a few months.
And he looks genuinely happy.
He looks very happy. His pictures always
he took his photos the other day.
I found that very strange and fascinating, I must say. Alright, let's move to Tuesday. And the big stories from Tuesday as we look at the week on the review. For Tuesday, let me see what today sent in. Ademola Lookman won the Atlanta Player of the Year award. Cyril Dezes also joined Glasgow Rangers, and William Trustekong also went to join PAOK Salonika in the Greek Super League. So basically the big stories on Tuesday was about Super Eagles players trying to find new pastures. But Ademola Lookman, I mean, that's a huge one. First season at Atalanta, although not a really successful one. They would have loved to get back into Champions League football under Gianpiero Gasperini. But imagine as the best player at Atalanta in your first season, your debut season. That's really huge.
Well deserved. I know that's about that. He was going neck to neck with Victor Osimhen until he got injured with as regards the AS goals. I think there was even a time
he was never going to win that.
Well, of course, but then he was very much of a I remember there was a banter between both of them, a soft banter where Ademola Lookman said the target is to hit up at Victor Osimhen in terms of the numbers, and it's more like, dude, you're injured. I think it's just a good win, but ultimately it's a good win for Nigerian football. I've always said that in terms of talent, in terms of quality, in terms of ability to stand shoulder to shoulder with the very best around the world. I mean, it's going to be very difficult for a country that is like about the second highest exporter of football talent in the world, behind maybe Brazil alone, that is not even overtaking Brazil. Then that in terms of quality we have it. Unfortunately, very typical of the Nigerian situation. It's also applicable in the sporting sector where we have the talent, but the leadership standard had always brought us to that point where
to our knees.
Exactly, we can't we can't maximize the potentials that we have in terms of the quality of the players we can pick. Any league in the world that you don't have a Nigerian player, it's just like when they say any country or city, like just like when they say any country or city where you don't have an Igbo man, just leave that place. Any league in this world, there are leagues where you cannot get direct flight to that country. Sure, you cannot get 2 flights to that country. Bro, at some point, that Lomi Ogbeche was the highest goal scorer in the Indian league. Boss, like the Indian league. So, I mean, players in Malta, players in Maldives, players in leagues that are not even recognized in the ranking, it shows that we've got that quality. So, it's a big win for Lukman Ademola. The joy for me is always when it comes to the national team, and that's the big win again. And if you look at their age bracket, all of them seems to be around, and they will probably grow within that range for a very long time to come. And so
together. I'm looking forward to that for the national team.
I mean, for you to get into double figures in the Italian Serie, it's no chance play. 26 goals by Victor Osimhen. It didn't just come without the cost. At some point, he was injured, he was out of the side, and I had my fears. Especially when they started the Champions League this season against Liverpool, and they had a very emphatic win. I can't remember the scoreline.
I think 4-1
or there, but without Victor Osimhen, we had that conversation on this show that if the team continues in that pattern, we will be able to come back and get into it. And he came back like he never left. He came back with goals. We saw how important it was for them in the first leg of the UEFA Champions League, where they lost to Inter Milan. The first leg, I knew the game was done in the first leg. Victor Osimhen came in the second leg. You know that they literally forced him into that game. He still tried his best, got a goal that could have probably they gotten another one, like, you know, giving them the opportunity to get into extra time with Inter Milan. So I think it's a big win for Nigerian players. For Serie D, the Rangers is no chance play. Scottish Junior League champions. They played in the Champions League. So I think for me also it's an upgrade. For Greece, PAOK Salonika, I don't know how much of an upgrade is that. But then I remember when one of the managers of the Super Eagles came out to say, I think it's gonna well, that it's not good to call any player that plays outside of the top 5 league to the national team. As at that time, Super Eagles captain was Mikel Obi, and he was playing in China at that time. What's his name now? Jude Ojongale was playing in Saudi Arabia. But I had to call those guys because you know how to go calling players in the championship, the English second tier of English football. So I think for me, the fact that all of these guys are doing well for themselves club wise, it's football is getting really wild and crazy right now. And for you to get off those big mega deals, you need to get to those top clubs. And for Serie D, I think it's a big win for him. The fact that he's going to be playing continental European, I don't mind me. And he's going to be playing European football, and it's a big win again for the national team. For PAOK Salonika, I don't know how many of us get to see the Greek league, even in his highlights. I don't know. I know like a few Nigerian players used to play in that place. I remember there was a time that what's his name now? Victor Sofo. Yes, I think the biggest Nigerian export to the Greek league had to be Ifeanyi Udeze when he played for the same PAOK Salonika, the same team now. So I think for me it's a big win for Nigerian players. The fact that at least when you are moving, you know that you get competitive game time, not just preseason. And I hope they stay fit and they stay playing. That's the deal.
All right, let's move on to Wednesday, shall we? And on Wednesday, Tobiloba Amuso talking athletics. She won a 3rd national title at the national trials in Benin. We talked about that on Sports Cruise. Mushirise Shakiri also won the men's 100 meters title at the trials in Benin as well. Remember, the trials served as qualifiers for the World Championships in Hungary. That's in Budapest. Yeah, it was a race. I mean, imagine having the world champion running, and I'm not sure we even had about 100 people at the Samuel Egbudia, which was a big shame. All right, from France, Paris Saint-Germain unveiled Luis Enrique as their new manager. Manchester United also confirmed Mason Mount's signing. That's about £55 million, with £5 million in add-ons to Chelsea, depending if United to win the Champions League a couple of times. Moving on to Thursday, NBA and FIBA brought Basketball Without Borders back to South Africa, which is definitely a huge one. Real Madrid also unveiled Adegula. That's the whiskey from Turkey. Roland, have you seen Adegula?
Yeah, I have. It's so small. I mean, it's smaller than I am. And I'm very small. Okay, I was looking at the first one you can believe. Look at this guy. If I see him for a street, I've been calling the phone.
Anyways, Real have signed him for about 20 million euros. Could rise up to 30 million. That was what was in his release clause. Barcelona also in the mix for Arda Güler, who goes into the first team. Yes, Arda is not going to the Castilla. Arda is not going out on loan. Arda Güler has been signed to Real Madrid's first team, and yes, last season it was one of the major reasons Fenerbahce went on to win the Turkish Cup and mounted sort of a title challenge to I think Galatasaray, who were Turkish champions. Fine player, plays like that's like some Messi-esque kind of player there, left-footed, plays in the half spaces. But I think the difference between Messi is the fact that he's always willing to defend. I saw a couple of clips about a good fine talent, and then let's see if he finds home at Real Madrid. Alright, that's for Thursday. Let's talk about Friday. Yesterday, Super Falcons threatened to boycott the FIFA World Cup opening game against Olympic champs Canada. Mauricio Pochettino also had his first Chelsea presser. The Tigers also traveled to the African this morning, hours before their opening game. Interesting. I understand the African is holding in Tunisia. I think we'll get to more of that with Okwe later on. And then the Niger Super 8 preseason tourney kicked off right here in Lagos. Remo Stars beating Enyimba 2-1 at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena. Now, we're done with the week on the review. How about we do on the music break, and the show will be coming back to some NBA. When we do the NBA, we'll get full blast into the Super Falcons of Nigeria. No doubt, trust me, we're taking it one step at a time. We're saving the best for the last. And we'll also have plenty of time to talk to us. The numbers haven't changed. Just get them down. 091 36000 410 is the number to call if you want to join in on the show. Okay, let me see. Let's do some Fifth Harmony, shall we? On Mainland 98.3 FM. Right back in a jiffy. Don't go anywhere.
Just the guitar, okay, cool. This was all you, none of it me. You put your hands on my body and told me. You told me you were ready for the big one, for the big jump. I'd be your last love, everlasting, you and me. That was what you told me. I'm giving you up, I'm forgiving it all. You set me free. Send my love to your little love. Treat her better. Gotta let go of all of our lows. We both know we ain't kids now. Destiny said that you gotta get up and get it. Get mad independent and don't you ever forget it. That's the girl you show it. Let me push it up for you. If you feel me, put your fire high. That's my girl. That's my girl. That's my girl. That's my girl. What you want, what you waiting for? That's my girl. That's my girl. That's my
Ladies, welcome back. It's still Saturday Sports Cruise on mainland 98.3 FM. Yes, we are alive. We're streaming live. We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. On Facebook, actually, if you want to follow us and watch what we're doing live, it's mainland FM 98.3. And if you want to stream live on YouTube, it's mainland 98.3 FM. On Instagram, we're mainland FM 98.3, and on Twitter, give us a follow and drop a comment as well, mainland FM. All right, okay, let's get to the NBA and talk about Victor Wembanyama. But actually, I might just have to take a small time out, get straight up to Emmanuel Chibuzo, who is waiting for us for that link up. I'll get talking. Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Anderson, our Summer League, their debuts went down last night on the LS of this morning. We'll get to that shortly. Don't go anywhere. It's still Saturday Sports Cruise, baby. Welcome back, Sports Cruise, the weekend edition coming your way, and Emmanuel Chibuzo joins me live on telephone. Emmanuel, good afternoon. How's Kano this afternoon? Both.
Kano, good afternoon. Good afternoon to the city of Lagos. Kano is hot as usual. He trained last night, but it's a bit hot this afternoon because the sun is at its peak.
It's only in Kano I can only say there's summer in Nigeria, right? There's always summer. There's always summer in Kano because it's always hot.
Even Maiduguri sometimes too.
Yeah, I know. All right, let's quickly get to the business of the day. And Emmanuel, we saw San Antonio Spurs and Victor Wembanyama in summer league action against the Charlotte Hornets, right? This morning, and I mean, there's always been narrative that this guy is someone who is out of the world, is someone who is immortal. But after all, Victor Wembanyama showed his mortality this morning, right?
Exactly, Wally. I think like we always talk about the highly ranked player, highly talked about draft since LeBron James in 2003. A lot was at stake. The venue was sold out already before the game. So a lot of people came out, but every touch, people were chanting his name. After a while, the chants started going down because he struggled from the field. Victor Wembanyama was 2 of 13 from the field. In the first quarter, alone, the field was about 1 for 7. And from the 3-point range, he was 1 of 6. That was how poor he was from the shooting on the night. His ball handling skills were evident. People saw it. and Kai Jones.
Hello, Emmanuel. Oh, I think we have to get back to Manuel in a moment. He mentioned Kai Jones, and apparently Kai Jones was the guy who gave Wendy is welcome to the NBA moment, and I'm sure, Manuel, I was going to get to that very, very soon on that conversation. But we'll get back to Manuel just in a moment. I think we just have some internet or network issues right there. All right. By the way, we'll also be linking up with someone will be giving us a better understanding of what's happening with Nigeria's D Tigers and the under 16 side. So stick around for that as well. All right, while we're trying to get Emmanuel, Emmanuel is back with us. Emmanuel, the last word you uttered before that conversation went off was Kai Jones, and I just told the listener out there that it looked like Kai Jones was the guy who gave Wendy his welcome to the NBA moments, right?
Yes, well, I think he gave me the welcome moment, and Webby staggered off the court.
He staggered.
It was for Kai Jones. Yeah. He staggered off the court. And I said for him, these are the guys who said they want to dunk on LeBron James because that's going to be a moment for them, and they already made a post out of it. And before the game, the talk was about number 1 and number 2 overall pick. Don't forget the fact that Brandon Miller was the guy who went after Wembanyama, the Charlotte Hornets. Yeah. So he kept profile, but Kai Jones stole the night due to that dunk. But only for Wembanyama, I don't want to read too much into what we saw on the night. He finished the game with 9 points, 8 rebounds, 5 blocks on the night, and also 2 assists. We know he's going to be a player who's going to get so many blocks because of his length, about 7'4". But while taking it back to 2007, when Kevin Durant was drafted to the Seattle Supersonics, number 2 overall pick, so much hype, not as high as Wembanyama. He had, on his first day in Summer League, his debut, he was 5 of 17 from the floor. That was how terrible he was. Look at the player that Kevin Durant is today. And for some people, one of the best scorers of the NBA. So Wale is the first player. I know there's so much nerve, so much tension, agitation around on his shoulders at the moment. He's 19, but I just feel he's going to come off it. There are some stars who have had a poor debut on their after they drafted. One of those things for him, 9 points, 8 rebounds, 4 on the night in terms of shooting.
I think he had some steals too. I think he had about 3-4 steals, did he?
Yes, about 3-4 steals and 3 steals, 5 blocks on the night. So that was around the number. Defensively, I know he's going to do a lot. But when we talk about, he had to add some weight, add some pounds. Because something else, let's not forget the fact that the last time he came to Las Vegas to play, he dropped 37 points.
Yeah, against Ignite.
Yeah, G-League Ignite, 37 points. He was terrific on the floor that night. He made about 7 3-pointers. And while the court in Las Vegas and the court from where he is coming from in France are not the same. While the 3-point range, the inches are a bit farther compared to where he's coming from in France. Okay. I don't want to make excuses for him. I just feel like people have always said what he's used to playing in the French league is different from what he's going to meet in the NBA.
But to be fair, Emmanuel is also coming off a very long season in France, so maybe a bit of fatigue too. Hello, Emmanuel. All right, we'll try to get back to Emmanuel. So how about just so quickly use the other line, and we'll get across him so we can have a seamless conversation with Emmanuel Chibozo. We're done with Victor Wembanyama, and we'll talk Scott Anderson in a moment with our NBA Ed. We've been speaking to Emmanuel all week, and yes, he's based in Kano, but hey, used to be in Lagos with me until he joined another platform in Kano. But we'll get back to him very, very soon. You can join the program. Remember, we're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. On Facebook, it's Mainland FM 98.3. On YouTube, it's Mainland 98.3 FM. If you've got comments to drop, feel free to do them. We've got this one on Facebook already. Adeniji Udeme Said says, good afternoon, guys. I think Mount will bring another dimension to United's midfield. And what is the situation about Pulisic and Lukaku move? Pulisic has joined AC Milan already, so that is signed, sealed, and delivered. He finally got what he wanted. Although we understood that Lyon Olympic Lyon were in the deal, but that couldn't happen. So it's joined AC Milan. Lukaku has to report to Chelsea pre-season this week. We're going into, that's what Poch says, and from then on they will sort out. We know that Lukaku doesn't want to play for Chelsea anymore. Looks like he's going to join Inter, but one or two things still has to happen. Now let's get back to Emmanuel. We're done with Wemby. Let's talk about Scoots, right? If Wemby had a shaky debut, Scoots had a solid one, right?
He had a solid one, but he left because injured. When the bad night for him, he got left in the third quarter, and just when he was leaving the court, he already had about 15 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists to his name. And himself and another guy, the person who went number 4 after him. In fact, the way the NBA went last night was number 2 squared up, number 3, number 4 squared up. And for Scoot Henderson, there's a guy called Amen Thompson, who was drafted to the Houston Rockets. He also left the court injured as well. For Scoot Henderson, he left with a bad shoulder. Why for Amen Thompson could have took him out of the game. For Amen Thompson, he had 16 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 4 blocks in 28 minutes. While Henderson was on the court for just about less than that number of minutes. So while he lost on the play for this young man, because this is one of the reasons why the leader has asked for a trade, was of the opinion that they should draft this guy out of the team. And while they got the positive news is, before game, are you aware that Henderson has been working out with Steph Curry? Wow. Talking about ball handling and shooting, because he told him you have to work on your jump shot. So all through the week, Steph Curry was in Las Vegas with him, working on his ball handling skills and his shooting. He shows you a player who wanted to do a lot. He's a 6'9" guard, he can do a lot on the court. And he's played
G League for about 2 years, right?
Yes, and funny enough, the good thing is that his family, about 3 sisters, are all hoopers. They all play basketball. They have 3 sisters, so he has his number 1 critics will be from his family. So I think he's taken off the mantle this time. Contacted Steph Curry. Steph Curry was with him. I watched about 5 minutes of the ball handling they were doing together, and his jump shot and his shooting. While if Scoot Henderson gets his jump shot right and gets his shooting right, I think the player that the league cannot contain. They've been comparing him the likes of Russell Westbrook and Ja Morant because of the athleticism and his work ethic he brings on the court. I do just hope this injury does not cost him so much, only because when he left the court, like I said earlier, he finished with 15 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists in that game. And while let's not forget the fact that in the midst of all of this, one man too has been holding the headline. Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren was drafted by the OKC last season. He was supposed to be one of the poster boys of the franchise. He was playing what you and I would call John basketball before the summer camp started. And that was how he ruptured his ankle. He missed the entirety of the season. He's back with OKC and has been lighting up the G League right there in Vegas.
Alright, thank you very much. We just talked about Victor Wembanyama and Sterling Anderson, with the call Scoot Anderson, right? Why do they call him Scoot? I mean, his real name is Sterling Anderson.
Well, I think it's the name they gave to him while he was in college.
and that name actually a stock.
Yes, a stock. Well, we know a lot of players who names they're like Kaka. It's not his real name. That just stuck with them, and that's how they've gone. But I think right now, I think he wants to stick by schools. I'm not even with Sterling anymore.
Emmanuel, what's happening with Dame Lillard? Things seem to have gone cold.
Yes. Now the problem is his agent came out to say the what's the name? Philadelphia of the Sixers said they are not ready to let go of that man, Tyrese Maxey. The Clippers want to do a trade, not forgetting the other things they want to do a trade. Even the Boston Celtics. But the problem is, his agent said 2 days ago that anything that wants to trap Damian Lillard should be ready to get an unhappy player, because the only place he wants to go to play for the Miami Heat. So his agent was trying to beg the other teams avoid the Lillard this season, because if you end up getting him, you end up getting a player who is not happy, who is not happy to be there with you. So that's the problem. Well, this might just be like the Kevin Durant trade. Before the start of last season, Kevin Durant demanded for a trade. The team left him until just 2 games before the end of the regular season, before they dealt him to the Phoenix Suns. That might be the case there again. Maybe if Scoot Henderson and Damian Lillard get to play together, they only brought in that man into a new contract, Jeremy Grant. They want veteran players to play with him. But right now, Miami Heat are trying to put pieces together. They're looking for a third thing that will get them what they want. Nobody wants to touch Ben Simmons. The Phoenix Suns the Brooklyn Nets want to trade Ben Simmons, but nobody wants to touch Ben Simmons. So the question is, which other teams are interested in the trade? Now, for the Boston Celtics, they want to deal with that guy called Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown has a 1-year contract remaining. He has not gotten an extension yet. So it's going to be bad business for anything that gets him for next season if they trade him. So right now, Miami Heat are trying to put pieces together. They want to deal with that man, Tyler Hero. They let Gabe Vincent go and the other players in the team, Max Strauss, because they want to clear cap space. They have the cap space right now, but they don't have enough pieces. They don't want just future picks. They want players who are ready to start playing right now. That is what is happening that day from going through right now.
All right, Emmanuel, before I let you go, your big favorites for the FIBA World Championship starts next month?
My big favorite for the FIBA World Championship, I'll stick with Spain.
Not the USA?
Not the USA. I'll stick with Spain. I think the USA roster, those guys lack a lot of experience.
Yeah, you got a feeling it's not deep enough with experience.
You're not deep enough, and they don't have enough size and length in the team. The guy from Memphis Grizzlies, Derek Jackson Jr., the best player of the game, I end up playing as their center. I thought that with Halliburton, what's the name, Austin Reeves, Jalen Brunson, and my point of the show was Spain. I'm not telling anybody. They know that when the USA comes to the party, the different body mentality. For the French team, they'll play Wembanyama. So Rudy Gobert will be there, Nicolas Batum will be there. But because of Wemby not being in the team, it takes a lot from the team. But I'm going to look at the Spanish, even the Serbian team. And I have to also look at the Serbian team as well. But I just think I will be going all out for the Spanish team.
All right, Emmanuel, much thanks for your time this afternoon on Saturday Sports Cruise. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, bro.
Always a pleasure, Wally. Thank you.
All right, Emmanuel Chibuzo just giving us his thoughts on Victor Wembanyama and Sterling Scoot Anderson, who made their Summer League bows this morning for the San Antonio Spurs and Portland Trailblazers, respectively. We'll do another break, yep, we'll be coming back with more basketball, right? Okay, so don't go anywhere. The show will be back in a moment.
Bags, I've been moving too fast. Hard times don't last. Remember when cops are rats talking out my boy, you ain't with a badge. All my life. Time to get this down. All this time. I thought I'd make it out. No. All my life, trying to keep me down. I decided I had to finish, but the media called me a menace. I just sat with the men, politicians. I'm trying to change the image. You can't blame my past no more. I come from the trenches. Some said I'd never be a superstar, but I know I'm different. I'm a voice, but the system ain't give me a choice. Know some people that's still unemployed. I know a fella who trying to get forward. Child support, your only support. For a visit, I'm going to courts. Went to jail, they was chaining me up, and you know that I'm famous as. See how you gon' joke about stimulus, but they really had came in the clutch. I know some kids wanna hurt themselves. Stop trying to take drugs, I refer to myself. Trying to better myself, trying to better my health. But all my life, they're trying to keep me down. All this time, I thought I'd make it out. No. All my life, trying to keep me down. First generation ghetto, cold world, hello. Made it out the city with my head on straight. Keep shooting up the let out. Yo, Joe the pill gotta get out. Cause the shit that I spit out is a cheat code, like I'm facing a Rico. And I put a hit out, and another one, and another one. I got like 100 of them by the lap. They think they're ahead of me, but I'm really in front of them now. Some of them fumbling they bad, got the little crumbs that they had. And a reminder to humble yourself, to be gone in an instant. Me, I'm running long distance, all distance. Fine, I've been stuck between maybe retired and feeling like I'm just not hitting my prime. These days, seeing rappers be dying way before they even getting they shine. I never even heard a little buddy, just somebody murder little buddy. Now I'm on the phone searching little buddy name. Gotta play this tunes all day in my room. Think again, wicked to get the names, but just gotta go lay in a tune. Immediate thirsty for clicks. I got got a new rule. If you ain't ever posted a rapper when he was alive, you can't post about him after he get hit. It's simple, it's the principle. On any tempo, I'm invincible. Don't even rap, I just fit to you. I'd rather that than an interview. Most days, I'm all like I'm going through a whole phase. Young got the whip like road rage. I pray all of my dogs stay so paid, and the only thing to kill him is old age. All my life, trying to keep me down.
Welcome back, Lil Durk featuring Joe Cole, All My Life on Saturday Sports Cruise on Milan 98.3 FM. This was coming in, it's breaking. David Raya has left Manchester United. It's over. Yes, family. He has left Manchester United. I mean, that's another huge talking point that we will come to later on, and definitely be taking plenty of reactions to that. But over to you. Let's talk about the Super Falcons real quick. And we know that it's been controversy after controversy leading up to the World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. And the latest is that Nigeria will now not boycott its opening game of the FIFA Women's World Cup against Canada, and that's according to captain of the site, Onome Ebi. And there have been reports of the team planning to boycott its opening game as a protest of allowances and bonuses, but that has now been put to rest with Ebi's clarification. Are you pondering what I'm pondering? I mean, every talk of a boycott that I was coming out of camp, definitely the captain must have known about it, must maybe also have instigated it, and suddenly there's a U-turn. What's happening?
Well, I think a lot of us need to know something, that the state of football in Nigeria, it gives room for a lot of speculations and a lot of what if perhaps it's happening truly. And if you look at the names that was involved in the, I don't even want to think it's a rumor, by the way. I don't even want to think they are just speculations. I think it's just a matter of, okay, ladies come. And if you look at the names involved, there was Azuatu Shola, there was Desiree Baranese, and you know Desiree Baranese had always been at the forefront of, advocating for a proper welfare for the Super Falcons. That was what led to her being suspended, being stripped of the captainship, handed over to Azuatu Shola, being thrown out of the Super Falcons camp about 2 years ago. Then, she was brought back to the side, and so we have that herself, Maybe Azuatu Shola, and a few of them, immediately they arrived their camp, they just had that meeting and they felt like, see, there's no how in this world that the NFL would collect over $900,000 as qualification fee, and then they would say that they don't want to pay them, match bonuses and their allowances, because FIFA is going to give them some amount of money as individuals participating in the tournament. So I think for me, that side of me is not even, I'm not bothered. I'm sure they probably just called them and spoken to them and told them, okay, what, rather than for us to go into all of this mess and have all of this needless distraction, talk to your girls, we'll give you the money you're asking for. Even if we are not going to give you everything, we'll give you a portion of the money you're asking for and let it go. So even the fact that she came out to say that she didn't know where that rumor was coming from means that they knew there was a rumor. And in all of this, behind all of this rumor, there's always that tiny element of truth. And with the whole situation, it's easy for you to put 5 and 6 together and figure it out that it's not just Nigeria. We saw what happened with Bayana, that's the South African female national team also. There was a protest where they had to use, young girls.
Do you have an idea what has been the reason for the discontents or the issues between the Super Falcons and the NFF?
I think it's majorly money, and it's not just definitely. It's not peculiar to Super Falcons alone. I was seeing the same thing play out. Even the Canadian, FA are coming out to say that we are almost broke.
So there's a pattern. There's been a pattern we've been seeing with a lot of football federations, not only in Africa. We believe that since FIFA are going to pay you guys $30,000 for each game. Probably don't need to pay you, and I think that's happened also with the Super Falcons, who have been told that, hey, there's this competition, there's a money that FIFA is supposed to give to the NFF after the competition, over $1.5 billion, and then a certain percentage was supposed to go to the Super Falcons, and the NFF has said, hey, no, we're not giving you that anymore. You should be content with $30,000 going directly into your bank account. And the Super Falcons have said, no.
See,
we have to get something from that as well.
Everybody would say no, because the qualification fee came through because the girls qualified for a World Cup. That's why the money even came in the first place. And whatever you are going to get after the World Cup was because the girls appeared at the World Cup. That's why you are getting the over $1 million they are also getting. So I mean, the question is this: what if they don't qualify for the World Cup? Wouldn't they have found a way around it?
$1 million will even be.
Even the conversation of $960,000 qualification fee would also not be on the menu. So I think for me, it is about the girls just waking up to that responsibility, and I think it's just been narrowed down now. This conversation didn't come here. I remember there was a time where I think about 2 years ago when the Pioneers issue came up, that when the Super Falcons came to play a World Cup, I think the World Cup qualifier against Algeria, they were reportedly paid $100. And when the Super Eagles came to play friendly match, they were paid about $10,000. So the girls feel what exactly is going on, and it's not just making out to the Super Falcons. Even the United States women national team are saying we've given you tremendous success, way more than the United States men national team will probably never give you. I mean, they've won the World Cup back to back. They're coming in to defend the World Cup again. Talking about the United States women national team, give us equal pay. We're seeing this team to play out in France. It's playing out in Holland. It's playing out everywhere, and I think they have huge justification for it now. A lot of people may disagree with this, but if you look at how women football have grown over the last few years, especially the issue of live appearance in the stadium, the final of the European Championship between England, I can't remember who they played at the Wembley Stadium, gave over 80,000 live appearances. That's the biggest in Wembley, in both male and female. I mean, the shows, and I remember the last World Cup too, even the last European Championship, there were games that had 40,000, 65,000, attendance in the stadium, women football. So they're growing, obviously not with the razzmatazz that men football, usually come with, but they're saying that give us money, give us whatever we're entitled to, and the federations feel like, you know what, FIFA is going to give you $30,000, is enough for you guys to do whatever you want to do with it. And it's not even like the women football pays as much as the men football pays. I remember when Barcelona signed, I think they had a record signing from a Manchester City player, and that's like the most expensive female footballer in world club history. And how much is it? It's not even up to what Cristiano Ronaldo earns in maybe 5 or 6 hours a day. So it's not like those girls get all of the monies, that especially what the boys collect. So when competitions like this come up, they try to gather more as much as they can, and of course, they got responsibilities. The fact that your international team means that your family, friends, relatives, even your loved and the ones that don't like you are already on your neck. The more you are coming out of the camp or you are coming out of the tournament, they expect you to drop something. So the girls want to get as much as they can get, and 900% support them. You cannot sit in the comfort of your office and sit in the comfort of the luxury that being an office holder gives to you, and then you deny the people that works for the luxury you're enjoying to be a part of the luxury. It's simple. The girls are asking for what is justified.
We would continue to follow that story, but right now Onome Ebi has gone on record to say that in 13 days from now we will be taking on Canada and we're not boycotting anything. But Wisdom, what are your expectations from the Super Falcons who play Canada, Australia, and debutant Republic of Ireland?
Yes, I think the Super Falcons, first I would say they are going to get out of the group. That if they didn't take all these shenanigans,
I need you to plot that graph.
Yes,
on how we are going to qualify, because I'm eagerly awaiting, and I'm really interested. I'm interested in anything that would ensure we get out of that group.
Yes, I think they will get the better of Republic of Ireland.
Oh yes,
and but Canada, I think if they try, they can get the draw. But in the other, what are they playing again?
Australia is the host. They're co-hosting.
Yeah, does that matter? Qatar is World Cup.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
Qatar is World Cup. What happened?
No, I play Argentina.
So I think they will get out of the group. That's if they didn't take all these shenanigans going through.
Well, I also think they'll get out of the group too. I don't know.
Wait, is that a spot for third best losers?
No. Well, anyhow.
No. I believe there's going to be a spot. How many teams are going to the World Cup? It's the first
time we have a full squad, 32 teams. Right? Like
which means that there is no spot for the best place. There's no best place. Now, let's be very, very optimistic and very realistic. Not even be optimistic. Let's be objective here. We'll take on Canada. We're not favorites against Canada.
Sure.
My projection is that we'll probably lose that game. Next up, I think we've got Republic of Ireland. I think we win that. It's there, but I think we can't win Republic of Ireland.
Who are you going to win?
Then we should stop playing women's football, basically. So we get 3 points there, and we're left with this guy's club, Sam Kerr's Chelsea, and the Matildas of Australia. I mean, there is no way we are winning that game. That's the truth. I think the realistic points haul we can get from Australia and New Zealand is 4. Is 3. 4. That means you're saying that we're going to draw against Canada, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's fantastic.
I think without the result against Canada, I'm not even going to limit the opportunity to get in a draw. Yeah, the Canadian team that are the Olympic champions, they come in with so much energy.
The Canadians also have some issues background, but since they found a way to sort it out.
Even in the rankings, if you look at the rankings now, in our team, we are the least ranked team in the 4 of our group. I mean,
I think we're better ranked than the Republic of Ireland.
No, Ireland is
Ireland are ranked higher, and they're making their debut in the tournament.
Pompey is running higher than the Smooth Falcons. Go and check. Pompey is higher than the Smooth Falcons. Go and check. We're actually number 41 now in the world, if I'm not mistaken.
40.
We are 40 now. Okay, maybe that should be like the June or the July ranking. We should be like 40 or 41 in between. Go and look at the countries that didn't even qualify for this World Cup and are ranked higher than the Smooth Falcons. So I'm not even going to look at that. My optimism is not coming from that. My optimism is coming from the fact that we've got individual players. In as much as I think we've got huge deficiency in terms of our technical managers now, I don't think Deneby has anything to offer the Smooth Falcons. That's the talk for another day. It's certainly going to take us to the World Cup. All things being equal. But if you look at getting into the World Cup, you play against the Canadian team that the opening games can be a bit unpredictable. You don't even know who is coming through well. You don't know. You probably just can assess the fitness of your players during trainings. But when it comes to competitive game, when it comes to the big level, the Smooth Falcons have qualified for every single FIFA Women's World Cup since the start. I'm just saying that they've got that big experience. We've got players that play for Barcelona, for Atletico Madrid. I mean, we've got players that played in the French league, players that
Do you know any players that play in the big leagues for Canada?
Everybody's got it. You will always have those moments of being, although it's always difficult for me to explain why Asante Oshoala struggles with the Super Falcons. I can't remember the last time he scored an open goal for the Super.
Anyways, we played Canada recently, and how did that game go?
As usual.
Alright, so I will say more than that. Talk about individual players. Asante Oshoala has been named as a nominee for the 2023 Ballon d'Or Award. The announcement was made by France Football, the organizer of the award, via its official Twitter handle yesterday. She has also been nominated in the Socrates Award category, which recognizes outstanding solidarity actions carried out by football champions. She's one of 5 individuals shortlisted for the award, which was established last year and named after the legendary Brazil footballer Socrates. Joining Oshoala's nominees in the category are Vinicius Junior, Antonio Rudiger, Marcus Rashford, and Alex Morgan, who plays for the United States and San Diego Waves. I wish her the very best in those categories, although we know that it will still take a long time for us to be able to be in a proper conversation for these big awards at the global level. Let's take a look at 1 or 2 stories making the rounds out of the FIFA Women's World Cup with about 12 days to go. And yesterday, Zambia, the Shipolopolo of Zambia, recorded one of the biggest results in the history of the women's game. In fact, one of the biggest results in the history of football in the country. They beat Germany in a warm-up game 3-2. First half ended goalless, despite the world champions or former world champions dominating the game. Barbara Banda put Zambia ahead early in the second half with a fantastic finish. And Roland, Barbara Banda is one of the players to look out for.
Well, I won't say I have much optimism for anything coming out from Africa. Aside from Morocco, I think I feel like Morocco, they might.
Because you like the way Morocco sounds?
No, I like the way they are really. So they are the only ones I'm looking at. But as for Zambia, I mean, it's a surprise when everyone.
I mean, it's their debut. They're making a debut at the World Cup, so I don't even know how much expectations anybody would have on them going forward. But I mean, we talked about Barbara Banda now. She's certainly one of the players that have been around.
Scored twice yesterday, actually.
Exactly, against Germany.
The winner came in the
97th minute, almost about the last kick of the game. I said this morning. So that's what I was talking about. Individual players that could just at some point hold it down for themselves, hold it up. And every single country within that I know, they've got those individual players from US to Germany to Australia to South Africa to Ghana to Nigeria. We've got those women. And you would expect that on this space, Ajah Toshola will be champion here, will be leading, or would expect to lead in Super Falcons.
She's been nominated for the
she's the biggest, she's the greatest female African football player ever. Nobody comes close. 2 Champions Leagues, that's huge. She's played for Liverpool and Arsenal the same season, played in China, moved over to Barcelona. She's won the highest goal scorer in the Spanish league. I mean, it shows that she's got a lot on her CV at club level. So going into the World Cup, where you probably meet 1 or 2 of those players that you get to compete with at the big level, at the club side, you will certainly expect to live up to those billings. So for me, I think the brilliance could work, or maybe it's good for the records, actually, nothing more.
Anyways, like you said a couple of minutes ago, there's also been questions raised about how much of clutch moments has Asisat Oshoala offered at international level. The World Cup is another stage. Let's see what she brings to Australia and New Zealand. And still on the Women's World Cup, the plane carrying Brazil's Women's World Cup squad arrived in Australia for the 2023 tournament, emblazoned with a tribute to Iranian human rights protesters. The squad touched down in Brisbane earlier this week in an aircraft that had the faces of Amir Nasser Azadani and Mahsa Amini, whose treatment by authorities have fueled anti-government protests in Iran on the plane's tail. The aircraft also displayed the phrases, "No woman should be forced to cover her head," and "No man should be hanged for saying this," on the side of it. According to the Sydney Morning Herald, the Brazilian Football Confederation has said it had nothing to do with the statements on the plane. The charter plane belongs to Argentine film producer Enrique Pinheiro, according to Australian broadcaster SBS. Protests swept through Iran following the death in September last year of Amini, a young woman detained by Iran's notorious morality police for being accused of improperly wearing a hijab. Nationwide protests rocked Iran as anger over the regime's treatment of women and other long-festering economic and political grievances flared up after the death of the 22-year-old. But I understand FIFA have said that they will stamp on any political statements being made in any form or shape at the World Cup, and honestly, I'm not really happy about that. Football also should be an avenue to be able to speak up about social economic issues. I mean, football and politics are always intertwined. They've always been intertwined.
I totally disagree with that. I think football should stay where it stays and politics should stay where
That's the problem. Football has never stayed where it's supposed to stay. Right from the Olympic era, right from the 1900s, football and politics have been together. So there's no way we can start trying to appear like we are moralist, like we are righteous, and say that football should stay where it is. Politics have always been together.
I remember conversations that almost ring all of the preparations as expectations going into the last World Cup in Qatar. The ban on the sales of alcohol, where the Qatari government says you need to respect our culture, and I remember a lot of players came through, especially within the French national team.
And also, I think the German, their team picture, I think for the first match, they all covered their.
And then they lost at the end of it. They covered where they're supposed to look at. Even the English national team, the 3 cups or 3 lions, what do they call them? They were supposed to wear the rainbow armband, and it became a big issue. The German national team did that team picture, they covered their mouth, and to me, it's very simple. I understand, Owale's point of view. It's a global stage. The entire world is watching. You want to make your statement. We've seen a lot of, advocacy group come through. The finals of the UEFA Champions League between Real Madrid and Liverpool. The old, unclouded lady running onto the pitch. It was a huge political statement. I understand what that's saying, but I mean, when you bring that political calculation or you bring that political conversation into it, I remember also when there was, even before the war in Ukraine and Russia, when there were reports of state-sponsored, doping allegations against Russian athletes, and the Russian athletes were banned from competing at the Olympics, except you want to come and compete as an independent athlete, not flying the flag of your country, which is Russia and Belarus in this case. And we've seen the same thing also played out at the last World Cup. So I think for me, politics should be left to the people playing politics. If it is the politics of football, they should face it. So coming to talk about the LGBTQ or coming to do that at the big stage where people start to do all of that.
A classic example is what has been staring us in the face in the last 1 year. The Russia-Ukraine conflict. I mean, that has spiraled not only to football, but to tennis, in fact to almost every sport. And that tells you that not only football and politics, it's about sport and politics. They go together. It can be positive, it can be negative, but there is no way they are Siamese twins. You cannot separate them. Just like Wimbledon last week, Andy Murray invited them what's her name? Let me try and get a name. To come watch his first match. That's Nazanin Zaghari Ratcliffe, who Iran detained because they thought she was a spy.
She was a spy,
yeah. And she got released. And those are instances where sports and politics have come together for good causes. You know, seen it come together for good causes and sometimes for poor causes or bad causes.
Most of the time is always for the negative thing.
I think that there's no way around it. But I would like to see plenty of statement being made at the FIFA Women's World Cup. All right, as we wrap up, we have another person joining us on the show. While we talk to him, I've also got a very interesting top 10 list of the most beautiful ladies to watch out for at the FIFA Women's World Cup, right? Yeah. And Ali's voice. It will be nice to know if any Nigerian has made the top 10. We'll get to that. What's up, guy? How you doing?
Well, I'm doing quite good. Good afternoon.
What's your name?
My name is Tayo Akintayo.
Oh, Tayo Akintayo.
Yeah.
Oh, nice one.
He's a Barcelona fan.
Oh, yeah, Barcelona fan?
Yeah.
You look like one of my colleagues from way back, Corey Brown. Yeah, and you talk like Corey Brown actually. Interesting. All right, let's take a look at our top 10 list, shall we? And see if we can find an African or maybe a Nigerian in that top 10. Starting from number 10, what do we have here? We have Kosovare Asllani. Yeah, that's a popular player. She's Swedish. She plays for AC Milan, and she will be in Australia and New Zealand. She's 33 years old. She plays as an attacking midfielder for Serie side AC Milan. She's an ethnic Albanian from Kosovo. Her parents moved to Sweden, where she was born. She's nicknamed Kosa. And number 9 on my list here is Salma Parayuelo. And Sauna Celeste Parayuelo Aingono is from Spain, born November 13, 2003. You can find her on Instagram also, so let me put out Instagram there at Salma Parayuelo. She's a 19-year-old Spanish professional footballer and former sprinter. Plays for FC Barcelona and the Spain women's national team. She's one of the hottest players at the upcoming World Cup. She's of African descent, by the way. She was born in Zaragoza to a Spanish father and an Equatorial Guinean mother. Let's move on to number 8, where we find Michelle Prince. Michelle Prince was born February 19, 1995. She is from Canada. She's 28 years old, plays as a forward for National Women's Soccer League club Houston Dash and the Canadian national team. So we'll get to see her in the first match, right? Alright, we'll get to see her as number 8. We'll also get to see number 7, Michelle Alozie. So finally, we have to understand why everyone is thinking Nigeria will not go on this. We should have 2 Nigerians on the list. Arguably, I mean, she has to be one of the sexiest and hottest Nigerian female footballers right now and probably ever. I don't say that fine girl. Roland is already checking. Please, you see these boys. Stop. Tayo, don't hide your phone. Tayo, on Mitchell's page. What are you doing on Mitchell? You lost your phone now. Look at these boys. She currently plays as a forward for National Women's Soccer League team Houston Dash and the Nigeria Women's National Team. She was born and raised in Apple Valley, California, to Nigerian parents from Imo State. She only debuted for the national team in 2021 and has become a regular member of the squad. I mean, I'm checking out Alozie's pictures, and this pictures, let me chip in a line. He said her elegant physique always gives more than most of the time when she chooses to flaunt her hot body. Okay. I had to put that. All right, let's see. When you see Alozie, you know that this melanin is dripping. It's dripping. It's giving melanin. Alozie, in case you can hear this cold. All right, number 6 on our list is Adriana Leon. Adriana Leon is also from Canada, born October 2nd, 1992. She plays as a winger for Portland Thorns of the National Women's Soccer League on loan from English Women's Super League club Manchester United. She also plays for the Canadian national team. So we have like 2 Canadians already on the list. So we are good for the opening match. That's enough consolation. Good. Number 5 is another Canadian, Jordan Itima. Yeah, that's her name. Jordan Pamela Hiltima is number 5 on the list. She plays as a forward for Women's Soccer League club OL Reign and the Canada national team. She scored her first national team goal at the age of 16, became the top Canadian scorer in the UEFA Women's Champions League before she turned 20, and has been named as a potential heir to Canadian legend Christine Sinclair. She's also famous for being the ex-girlfriend of Bayern Munich and Canada men's national team star Alphonso Davies. Alright, we drop down to number 4. What do we have here? We have a Jamaican here. Her name is Kiki Van Zanten. Yes, Khaleesi Van Zanten is the name. She was born in 2001, August 25. She's a Jamaican footballer who plays as a forward for Notre Dame Fighting Irish and the Jamaica women's national team. Van Zanten was born to an American father of Dutch descent and a Jamaican mother. Alright, though. Alright, we've got 3 more to go, and she has to be on the list. I don't even know why she's not number 1. By the way, this list is courtesy Pulse Sports, so big shout out to Pulse for this top 10. But number 3 is Alex Morgan. Yes, Alexandra Morgan Carrasco, born July 2nd, 1989, 34-year-old soccer player who plays as a striker and captains for San Diego Wave Football Club of the National Women's Soccer League, the highest division of women's professional soccer in the United States. She's a fine girl, that's all. I don't need to, talk more about Alex Morgan, who has graced the cover of Sports Illustrated magazine.
She's been so consistent.
Yeah.
Before.
Oh yeah. One of the hottest players to look out for the World Cup. Number 2 is Sakina Kachoui. Yes, Sakina Kachoui plays for France. She's 27-year-old French professional footballer. Plays as a left back for Division 1 feminine club Paris Saint-Germain, and Sakina Kachoui is one of the hottest female footballers. Born in Salon-de-Provence in the Provence region of France, Kachoui is of African descent, having been raised in the nearby town of Miramas by her Moroccan parents. Alright, number 1. Yes, number 1. No doubt about it.
I'm sure a lot of people have seen the skit of this particular person, even before we give the details.
While going through this list, follow men's football, you have been wondering, where is Alicia Lehman?
Where is she?
Alicia Lehman is number 1. Born January 21, 1999. Yes, the small baby. Alicia Lehman is a Swiss professional footballer who plays for Aston Villa, where she wears the jersey number 7 and the Switzerland national team. Popular in this side of the world for what? This program is done. There's this joy, this internal joy.
I thought I love female tennis more than male tennis, and we should understand why.
As of July 2023, Lehman is the most followed female footballer in the world. She boasts more than 13 million followers on Instagram. As a matter of fact, Lehman's good looks and attractive physique are a huge part of why she has amassed millions of fans on her social media pages, in addition to her talents on the pitch. Yeah, she has a very good backside, yeah.
That particular clip where she played for Aston Villa and then she scored a goal and then she went to, she almost did the Sue celebration, and then somebody was like, that video you watch, what is the number on our jersey? What is the number on our jersey? The person was like, you just saw this video now, watch it again. Before the person now saw the number, I was like, alright,
your eyes are somewhere else.
Alright, it's 3:25 on our timepiece here. We have to do another break, and then we'll come back. How about we take some of the calls? Let's hear from you, and we'll get into some of the big football stories. David De Gea, Harry Kane, Mauricio Pochettino, and many more on Saturday Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM. We'll be right back. Enjoy this one. It's weekend. Ramico featuring Malik Berry. It's the weekend edition of Sports Cruise.
Girl, you had a body like a Lambo. I had my eyes on you. You told me that I couldn't handle, and and I will fall in love with you. Even though you told me you already got a man, it's cool with me. Tell me if I hush you, we can keep it on the down low. That's fine. Anytime you need me, I make it rain down. Your body calling, I make it rain down. Your body's calling, I make it rain down. In the morning, I make it rain down. Falling, we ain't got that like we're I'ma hold you down. I'ma hold you down. We ain't got that like we're in love. I'ma hold you down. I'ma hold you down. Yeah, yeah. Since she only need a man for the weekend, yeah. And she only need a man for the since she only need a man for the weekend, yeah. Now she saying that she need me, but I tell her take it easy. Why you gonna get your feelings when I'm always out of the city? We getting money on the road, I know you probably won't believe me. Every other day I got a show 247, you should know I'm busy. I had the show in VA, you didn't miss me anyway. Now I'm flying to LA. All of a sudden you calling me back. I know my show game is great. You know your man, he can never be bad. And I just wanna be straight. So tell me why you acting crazy. We ain't got act like we're in love. I'ma hold you down. I'ma hold you down. We ain't got act like we're in love. I'ma hold you down. I'ma hold you down. Yeah. Say she only need a man for the weekend, yeah. And she only need a man for the baby. Say she only need a man for the weekend, yeah.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM.
We all got a story to write. So darling, jump in the ride. Before the train is gone, let's take a ride. Look in your eyes. Don't make them tell you lie. I'm on your side. Siwezi kuacha rumba. Asante kazi chaka chaka tumaraka tumpuvila. Siwezi kuacha vodka. We gon' get high tonight, baby. No see how you fell up. No se passe da clip on the left hand side. Siwezi kuacha rumba. Oh yeah.
Muda unayoyoma, so you never know what tomorrow holds. Siku zazidi kwenda, so don't hold back. Do what you gotta do. Take some love and give it back. Make your money, get that back. I don't know what you're going through. Yeah.
This is your invitation to dance. Salty soul burner boy came through with another one. Yeah. So come on and give love a chance. Yeah. Cause you know the party just begun. Yeah. And we're not getting young, I know. Time flies like a thief in the night. We all got a story to write. So darling, jump in the ride. Before the train is gone, let's take a ride. Look in your eyes. my sugar, now my baby. Siwezi kuacha vodka. Are we gon' get high tonight, my lady? Siachi fella. I'm Mr. Boss, Mr. Boss, siwezi kuacha rumba. Oh yeah. Siwezi kuacha rumba. Rumba imetamba sana na. Siwezi kuacha vodka. Siwezi kuacha vodka na mavela na siachi vela. Tuna mavela. Tuna mavela.
From the Niger Delta to all the corners of Africa, America, and the world, black people are turning the tables, taking back our place. We will be heard because we matter.
Yeah, music. It's got. I wanna thank my God for blessings and letting me go, nah, nah, nah. I wanna thank my fans for support and letting me blow, nah, nah, nah. Lord, I give everything to you, my life and soul, nah, nah, nah. I wanna thank my mom for bringing me into life, nah, nah. I dedicate everything to you, my fans all over. See everything you see, now God they do, and I go do everything I can, I no go slow down. Hear me doing good, we run the show. Make me dance, make me party. We don't say nobody. Let's party till morning. We don't say nobody. Get up and dance to the music like you don't say nobody. Let's party till morning. We don't say nobody. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, everybody, this not brand news here. Come around, come around. Let's celebrate. Lights one, bro. Yeah, yeah. So right now I stand on my feet. Back then I say I no go reach. I kept on believing, kept on believing, kept on believing. Now that they see me now, no try bringing me down. They say I just want to go, but back to the last me. Kept on keeping nobody hold me, kept on keeping down. I don't stand by me. I wanna be sure. I wanna be loony. I wanna be sure. Come out, we come out, so nothing what we want to be loony. I wanna thank my God for blessings and letting me go. I wanna thank my fans for support and letting me go. Lord, I give everything to you, my life and soul. Yeah, we doing good, we run the show. Make me party, we don't send nobody. Let's party till morning.
Welcome back. If you're on your way to a party, yes, Saturday Sports Cruise should keep you company going to that one there until finish by 5. And if you're on your way back from it, yeah, fantastic for you. We're going to work. We're right here on Mainland 98.3 FM. We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. On Facebook, it's Mainland FM 98.3. On Mainland, on YouTube, it's Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Olali. I've got Okpa, I've got Wisdom, Roland, and Tayo Akitayo on the show. As well, we're talking Chelsea in a moment, but how about just quickly take some of your calls. If you want to join us, you can do that right away. 0913600 and 410 is the number to call. 0913600 410 the number to dial if you want to join in. And if you want to send a text, feel free to do that on 0913600 430. That's the number to text, and if you want to do that as well on the show. Ayab Yoki Adewale sending us a message on Facebook, said good afternoon everyone, the guys in the studio. Outrage the story of Super Falcons boycotting their first match in the upcoming FIFA Women's World Cup. Yeah, we talked about that already on the show. On MLB has come out to say no, that is not happening. We will be playing against Canada come the 21st of July. Ayelini Abiodo Efizi, thank you very much. He says he loves our analysis. Adeni G says that Mason Mount will bring another dimension to United's midfield. And what is the situation about Pulisic? Okay, I thought we took this one earlier on. 0913600 410 is the number to call if you want to join in on the show. Alright, our first caller joins us right about now. Hello?
Hey, Good afternoon, everybody. In the
Hi, good afternoon. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, this is Fuma from Magodoshe.
Okay, Fuma, welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me just quickly contribute also concerning the Super Falcon. I think the time will come that the Super Falcon of Nigeria, they will also react like the US female national team who stood on their ground that there is need for them to take equal money from what they are paying the men. Also, they should pay them. Looking at the Super Falcon of Nigeria, they have brought a lot of glory through the African Female Nations Cup. How many the men have won? Only 3, and they are paying the men higher than them. You know, for this step they took that was able to successful. A time is coming. They also demand equal payment. Then our NSC will now need to sit very well. So what is happening between the Super Falcon coach and the NSC? I don't blame the female coach. I blame the NSC because the lot of politics they play. Why Caesar will pay them and they will refuse to pay the if the female did not play, can I get the money? The answer is no. So one of the best area, they should treat the Falcon very well. If they are treating them very well, also they will put in up their best, go beyond what they have been knocking on in the World Cup final. But this year, I'm seeing them going beyond the group stage. They can cause a surprise in their group stage.
You see? All right, thank you very much, Ofoma. He feels that the Super Falcons can really surprise plenty at the FIFA Women's World Cup. We'll definitely keep our fingers crossed on that. All right, we'll move on to the next caller. If you want to join in, 09136000410. You can also send your tweets to us. We're reading them. Mainland FM, yes, at Mainland FM is a Twitter handle. Drop your messages there, and we'll be reading them once they come through. All right, looks like we have to switch gears right now and talk about Chelsea. They have a new sheriff in town, and we can well say that the new era, or the Pochettino era, is truly on the way. But another call just came through. Let's take this one. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon to everyone.
Yes, good afternoon to you.
Yeah,
I'm here with you.
I greet you.
I greet you. Dan P.
What's your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Dan P. from Uganda.
Okay, Dan P. You're welcome. You can go.
Sorry, I don't know your name.
My name is Olawale Adugun.
Okay, Olawale.
Yes.
I like your comment. You are watching like that girl. You don't know her number. You are making me and my family laugh here. You don't know her number, but you know her backside.
Exactly. That is your wife there?
No, my sister. I'm not married. You are just laughing. That's right. Okay, let me just say a cheaping one. You see, you cannot give what you don't have. Everybody knows in the whole world, they respect Nigeria. In any sector, we try to strive our best and we come out number one. But whereby they don't support these girls in the financially, they will not perform. Do you think World Cup is a friendly match? World Cup is not a friendly match. Forget about this group stage. You are saying Ireland, they are not too strong. They are higher than them. But let me tell you, World Cup is not a friendly match. People tend to prepare for many months. We train together. So World Cup is not a friendly match. I do our girls are good. But due to this monetary aspect, they are not paying them. Randy, I don't blame Randy. He's only saying his mind and exposing what is happening in Nigerian sport. So that is it. I don't blame Randy. He's fighting for his own rights, for his pocket. How long will they be owning? How many coaches they employ? They will be owning coach. Many coaches. The same thing is repeating. It's a big shame to Nigeria. It's very, very bad. That's just what I want to say.
All right, Dampy, thank you very much. And Randy Waldrum already, I mean, in that podcast, he shared the fact that out of 14 months being owed, they paid him 7. And actually, it looked like he also edged his bets. He also revealed that Nigeria have always been trying to get him to come in as manager, even as far back as 2019. He didn't answer Amaju Peneko went to bring in Thomas Deneby, and after Deneby left post World Cup, they came back to him again, and he had to do his investigations and realize that hey, these people they are chronic debtors. And he told Amaju Peneko, hey, I have a job that I already have with Pittsburgh in the United States. I was supposed to take Super Falcons' job, then the Pittsburgh job was not even in the picture. But you guys did not answer me.
He even said he had already read it in the media that he been employed and nobody
spoke to him. So he told Amaju Peneko, is there a way I will keep my Pittsburgh job and I can still coach the Super Falcons? They said yes. Pittsburgh also allowed that. So while he was collecting his Pittsburgh salary, the Super Falcons were owing him. But he was also building his CV because taking the Super Falcons to the World Cup is going to be a great deal for someone like Randy Waldrum. So it's still advantage Waldrum, who has used us here, and loudmouth Waldrum. That's what the media director of the NFF called him, Ademola Olaji, who was just in a very, very bad mood when he reacted to that Randy Waldrum podcast reaction. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. It's still 3:42. Does that count as evening or afternoon?
It's evening.
It's still afternoon, right? Waiting be your name now. Calm down. All right. You want to know about Andre Onana, right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Ty, have you been following the Onana situation?
Yeah, it's just 2 personal terms being agreed, nothing concrete yet so far. Perhaps maybe in the coming days because United wants Onana to join them in the preseason. So let's see maybe if the fees can be agreed and the deal could be struck.
All right, looks like now that David De Gea has announced or his departure has been announced, it sets off a merry-go-round amongst the goalkeepers across a couple of clubs. So De Gea leaves, United need to bring in number one. Onana is going to come in. Inter need to find a replacement, and hearing Jan Sommer is leaving Bayern Munich to join Inter. That means Bayern also have to bring in a goalkeeper. I'm hearing Mamashvili at Valencia also is set to join Bayern Munich.
And when Valencia would also need to get a
Valencia not in the scheme of things. Valencia, they can always sort themselves out. Let's take the next caller. Hello, welcome to Saturday Sports Cruise.
Jawan.
How you doing now?
Great place calling you guys.
Hey, my guy.
Jawan.
How are you?
I put my phone at 2 o'clock. No waking. I've been sleeping. Now the weather is fantastic. I slept off. So tired. I just wake up now. My radio is on. Okay.
How are you?
I'm with you guys. Let's ride. See, now Valanda even I did
we know
best worldwide radio 90 years.
Send phones.
Send phones.
Goodness, thank you very much. One of my regulars everywhere I do. So hey, thank you very much for coming through on Mainland 98.3. And our next call is here. Good afternoon. How are you?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, my name is Trevor. This is good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone.
I just want to talk about David De Gea.
All right, feel free.
Yeah, honestly, I think I don't like how United have actually treated him. You know, so the fact that he had to wait this long to to say that he's leaving the team shows that he had actually waited to leave the team were going to, still can give him a deal. But honestly, how could they treat a legend that way? There's some I saw his Twitter and he was posting something.
Do you think David De Gea is a United legend?
Yeah, of course. Why not? He is.
Really?
Yeah, everything I ever find into actually. So.
Maybe he's a Gen Z legend.
No, I mean, at the time, he still owns the highest clean sheet with 190. He has 2 Premier League golden boots. I can also look at him as a Premier League legend.
I'd rather see David De Gea as a cult hero. Yeah, I think he's a favorite But I think a legendary status is really stretching it.
I don't think they've had so many good players since Ferguson left. So the little you have to just upgrade the status quo.
Aside from that, I still believe that the guy is a legend. Even though I'm not a United fan, he has played very key parts. He has been very instrumental in United success ever since he came.
In 12 years, honestly, how many Champions Leagues?
No.
How many Premier Leagues? Man, you have not won the league title in 13 seasons now.
But he won the league, and even when he won the league, he was instrumental. You can't.
I'm going to say it unapologetically. I'm not a United fan. I'll never be one. I've never dreamt of being one. David De Gea is not a Manchester.
He's not. What are you guys justifying?
I mean, let's talk about legends at United, right? Should we have conversation about legends? We'll talk about Eric Cantona.
Maybe we should even limit it to David De Gea's era of these 12 seasons he was at.
12 seasons.
What's on the table?
Only Wayne Rooney.
Exactly. What's on the table?
When you say we should start mentioning names of players, that means we are trying to compare. Because when you start bringing in names, now let's just talk about what he has achieved.
Okay, bring it on.
But the achievements also doesn't tally to legendary status. Yeah, that's honestly that's what.
Except we brought the word legendary status to
we're watering it.
Exactly. Maybe we don't know how are you bringing me. Okay, tell me what makes David De Gea a legend at Manchester United.
For me, if you are looking from the viewership of the new gen people that are watching football, you can't tell them that De Gea is not.
But I'm talking to you.
For me, growing up watching United, I associate De Gea greatly with them, as I associate Beckham with them. That's how I associate.
He served the club really well.
He served for a very long time.
I don't know what United fans think. I think the last caller feels is a legend. I'd like to know what the next caller or the next callers think. But talk about the way and manner at which he has left the club. I also believe that it's a very, very classless way United have treated David De Gea, offering new terms. You withdraw it again, and
for a player that all through last season the manager kept coming out to show public, to pass vote of confidence on it publicly, even when he cost the team, made some silly errors and all of that, the manager kept coming out to say, oh, he's our best player, he's been here for us and all of that. If you say he's a legend, then we shouldn't even be coming to this point. You can't leave just like that. You can't literally just smuggle through the back door if you really have cemented your place as a legend for the club.
Ronaldo is not a Man U legend. Messi is not a Man U legend.
Aside from that, because
he left in a more disgraceful way.
What Ope has just done is just open can of worms. If we have to talk about the way he left, that means we should also blame Real Madrid for the way they handled Casillas' exit. We can't always just attribute that to. It's just about the manner and the way in which the people
He's Messi a Barcelona legend.
Guys, let me also tell you something. It's important we know that a club doesn't owe you anything
at all.
It's business.
Yeah, God bless you. It's all business. So while you might also lament that we didn't like the way we
it's business.
It's business. And United over the years have done things this way. I'll give you examples. David Beckham,
Ronaldo.
Beckham said he couldn't watch United for 3 years after he left because of the way and manner in which he left. Ruud van Nistelrooy left on a cloud. Brian Robson in 1994 left on a cloud. Even Ronaldo's second coming, he left on a cloud. So there is a pattern of players leaving and things not ending really, enably between.
Messi didn't get a testimonial at Barcelona.
He will still get it though, don't worry.
He will still get it.
But he didn't get a testimonial at Barcelona. Does that mean he's not a legend?
No. I'm not even attributing the exit. I'm just saying that don't attribute the way clubs let go of some certain players. Don't let us now use that to now diminish maybe their contribution. You might know my own personal opinion. I still believe, and I believe strongly, someone can be the best player of your club consecutively for 2-3 seasons in a row.
5 seasons.
You can't say someone like that can't be regarded or can't be put in that place. So you might have your say against him, maybe in terms of his complacency, maybe loss of concentration when maybe doing this thing. But at the same time, when you look at longevity and when it matters, come on, you can't just say De Gea has saved Man U a billion at one time.
Oh no, yeah, of course. But you got to think that even this season, he ended up with the most clean sheets.
Of course, and this is even I think this is the first time of him winning, and despite him making remarkable saves.
But it's about apples and oranges. Yeah, it's a mixed bag. In as much as he had the most clean sheets this season, performances against Manchester City, in the FA Cup final, West Ham in the Premier League, Sevilla in the second leg of the Europa League, fans started doubting him. Fans started doubting him, and the ultimate decision maker here was Erik ten Hag, who has always said this is how he wants his goalkeeper to play. And to be fair, David has tried to adapt, but
it's difficult, especially when you have I don't want to use the word.
That's always been difficult.
When you have Calamity Maguire in front of you, it's very tough. But then if you say legend, I'm trying to.
We're not the legend.
I'm just bringing it off. I'm a trophy person. I'm a cabinet person, because I feel at the end of the day, when you're done with that club, when your memory fades at that club, when you have back home, when generations will check back. David De Gea won how many titles with Manchester United? Only one Premier League, 3 Community Shield, 2 League Cups. That's all.
So much for a legend. Let's get back to Europa League. Yeah, I think on Jose Mourinho.
Hello. And they won FA Cup on that.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Damilare from Uganda.
All right, Damilare, welcome.
Yeah, I want to speak to the DG. Let me say, I rate DG as a legend, and this is my reason. Fine, based on collective, I say that they don't win Champions League, but let's look at Manchester United for like 10 years. They are not the real Manchester United that we are known for. So it's not his fault.
So if it is not a real United squad, why do you want to bring out a legend from an unreal United squad?
This is what I'm saying. Despite Man U not the real Man U that we know, the G still stood up. It stood out.
So did he stand out to legendary status?
Yes. Just that. Wait. Let's look at Man U of then. Having someone like Bergland, West Brown in your front, Vidic, compared to having all this Maguire and Co. And it's still.
Please let's be factual here. David De Gea, for all of his life at United, never every time played in front of at the back of Harry Maguire. Please, let's stop this whole Harry Maguire thing. When did Maguire join United? It's not been up to 2-3 years.
Oh yeah, before.
So please, De Gea has played in front of proper defenders at Manchester United.
Okay,
let's be very factual.
Okay, let me ask you. I think they win Champions League. Will not be regarded as a legend.
No, you don't need the Champions League to be regarded as a legend. There are more things. There are more criteria.
That's what I'm saying. You looking at the individual performance. Now, looking at the longevity of the club, he stayed over 10 seasons of the club, and it was so regular. Not that they begged you for some time. He was always there. Season in, season out, and not just to make number.
Thank you very much. I agree with you. I think De Gea also makes the top 10 list for appearances made by Manchester United player. He's in the top 10.
It should be.
It should be. He's in there.
His previous season.
He's done well. I just don't see him. I'm having a United conversation about legends at the club. I'm going to sneak it. No, I'm not going to sneak.
Goalkeeper.
No.
I think that's what.
Van der Sar, Schmeichel, all were fantastic goalkeepers. I'm not saying that Van der Sar is a legend at United, but I'm only saying that we've had some iconic names as United goalkeepers, and they won't even make my list. All right, let's quickly switch over to Chelsea real quick. Mauricio Pochettino was speaking to the press for the first time as Chelsea manager. I would like to let our listener into one or two things we talked about. Then we right here will come back and also do some analysis on his thoughts on one or two topics as he started his reign as Chelsea manager. Mauricio Pochettino.
If you are in a football club like Chelsea, you cannot talk about to do a nice job and to play well. It's of course do a good job, play well, because this is our style and philosophy and culture. But of course to win. If you don't win in a club like Chelsea, for sure you are going to struggle. I don't want to put excuse. I don't want to talk about the past and what is going on. It's only that we need to, to bring players, and with the player that we have, to start to believe that from the day one that we start to work in Monday, that is about to win. It's about to be competitive and to be the best. And for that, we need to work hard. We are working really hard with the player that we have, and then to translate this energy to our fans and to for sure help us to win the games. That is so important. That to create that togetherness, to try to achieve with a difficult thing, because here in Premier League is really tough. The competition is many clubs that won the same than us, but I think if we are all together, we can be close to win again.
We know that the owners here are very happy.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM.
The Broadcast Art Institute Supplementary Admissions 2022-2023. Few vacancies exist in the Departments of Broadcast Journalism and Multimedia Technology for admission in the 2022-2023 session. If you scored 100 and above in the 2022-2023 UTME and have 5 relevant credits and have not gained admission, you can change over to the Broadcast Art Institute Lagos for National Diploma in Broadcast Journalism and Multimedia Technology. The Broadcast Art Institute is accredited by the National Board for Technical Education (NBTE) to offer national diploma programs in broadcast journalism and multimedia technology. You can visit our campus at number 38 Odofin Street, Igbogbo, Ikorodu, Lagos, or call the following numbers: 0806 149 9992 or 0703 713 1166 or 0816 587 1415. The 2022-2023 Universities and Polytechnic admission is here at the Eco College of Management and Technology, Eco City. Opportunity to gain admission and bag a national diploma degree is now available in the following courses: Mass Communication and Multimedia Technology, Banking Operations, Computer Engineering, Computer Science, Science Laboratory Technology, Performing and Media Arts. If you wrote the last JAMB and still seek admission, the opportunity is available at Eco College of Management and Technology to put the best in both theoretical and practical knowledge. Eco College of Management and Technology, Eco City, is approved and accredited by both the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board JAMB and National Board for Technical Education NBTE. At Eco City, our lecturers bring to the class both industry and academic experience. Facilities in the school include well-equipped laboratories, modern multimedia studio, hostel, sports complex, ultra-modern library, CBT hall, beautiful classrooms and office spaces. Eco College of Management and Technology is located at plot 100 Alhaji Onilewura Street, College Bus Stop, Ikotu Egbe, Lagos State. For inquiries, call 0812-658-0784, 0916-254-0610, or visit our website at www.ecocity.edu.ng. Eco College of Management and Technology, building industry-ready professionals.
Oh yeah, yeah. Nobody wants to grow old with no money. No. Make your retirement a smooth journey. So be smart, save a little step for it. Always smile and live up. Whatever you dream, don't pretend a PCPFA. Retire happy, come to an PCPFA.
With our great returns on your contributions, we can help ease your transition to retirement when you transfer to us at NLPC PFA. Simply fill the quick form on nlpcpfa.com/account/transfer RSC.
98.3 FM.
At this stage,
my target is to win. My aim is to win. If you are in a football club like Chelsea, you cannot talk about to do a nice job and to play well is of course do a good job, play well, because this is our style and philosophy and culture, but of course to win. If you don't win in a club like Chelsea, for sure you are going to struggle. I don't want to put excuse. I don't want to talk about the past and what is going on. It's only that we need to, to bring players, and with the players that we have, to start to believe that from the day one that we start to work in Monday, that is about to win. It's about to be competitive and to be the best. And for that we need to work hard. We are working really hard with the player that we have, and then to translate this energy to our fans, and to for sure help us to win the games. That is so important, that to create that togetherness, to try to achieve with a difficult thing, because here in Premier League is really tough. The competition is many clubs that won the same than us, but I think if we are all together.
Welcome back. Still Saturday Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3. We just listened to Mauricio Pochettino talking about unity of purpose at the club. We've got 1 more hour to go on the show, and let's make it worth your while. You can still join the show on 091-360-410. You can text us on 091-360-430, or Ty your wisdom and Roland on the show as well. Twitter has been agog with the David De Gea story, and it's trending already, and conversations going on and on. So if you're just joining in, you've missed out on that one, but you can still react. David De Gea has announced his departure after 11 years from Manchester United, and a few minutes ago also having conversations about where he stands, is it a legendary status at Manchester United or not. Alright, remember that we're almost at this situation a couple of years ago when he tried to go to Real Madrid, but the fax machine was not working right, and he couldn't go. That was under Louis van Gaal. And I remember Van Gaal didn't even play him again for a couple of games in preseason, told him to sit on the bench, so because his head was not right, but later go back into the squad. But this time on, there's no U-turn. He is leaving his territory, and wisdom, De Gea won't be short of offers, right?
Yes, I think. But let me start with this. Manchester United have been a bit unfair.
I think we'll cross that bridge, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
You I think you should get offers like a club like and Porto can get him.
For what?
Yes, now, but it's not about the money. If the question is, will the Gea agree to reduce his wages? That's the question. So, but I think it will get offered.
I think that everybody has suddenly become a victim, and it's not the only person. It's not even a goalkeeper thing. But we're in a football world where tactical trends have determined the kind of players that you sign. For example, you look at defenders, and what the defenders who are in demand now, left-sided defenders. Check it out. Josko Gvardiol is being quoted by Man City. Leipzig asking for about 100 million. Why? Because these are players managers prefer to even have left-sided defenders, because they see the pitch very much better. They can play on left back and stuff like that. We are not going for pure wingers anymore. We're going for inverted wingers. Now with goalkeepers, they're looking for goalkeepers who are modern, who can play
from the back,
who can be your extra guy, who can be your 11th ball playing goalkeepers. And that they obviously have struggled, and the top sides are around now. I feel not even top sides, even the modern sides. Brighton want to play with a ball playing goalkeeper.
Ramsdale.
You get what's the club again? Brentford. They've got David Raya also can play with the ball. So David De Gea would also look and say, hey, how do I fit into any of the top clubs across Europe right now? And it's going to be a struggle. Except
it is already a struggle for him, because he had the chance to fit into that demographic by playing the ball in I think 1 or 2 years, and he could not fill in that gap. So I think it's going to
it's a worry. So I won't be surprised. I'm playing a wild card here if he has to Saudi Arabia. Yeah, they're spending money there.
The thing is, I think it depends on what he wants now. If he wants to determine if he has achieved as a player, if he wants to be, maybe he has been more decorated.
Go into early retirement.
It's not even just because right now in goalkeeper's age, is more as if he's just getting to
just going to his peak. Yeah, it's 32.
But when you now decide based on what you have established, in fact, in terms of teams trying to play out from the back and the likes, now you have to look at in the top 5 leagues, how many goalkeepers can they get bench playing from the back?
It's a struggle. Yeah, it's a struggle.
There's practically none.
So like we said, is become a victim of the trends of the game.
Yeah, and
some 10 years ago, you'd be looking for goalkeepers like David De Gea. Hold on to the ball. Shot stoppers. Exactly.
It's very similar to what happened to Joat when Guardiola came in, and Guardiola, and I felt like that would have been the perfect thing with Ten Hag. You should have just shown him the door early, just know that you're not in my plan, rather than showing him solidarity support, and you are offering him a contract, take it back, offer him another contract. It's just what you just saying is just the brutal nature of business. I'm not talking about how United are treated him now. I'm talking about the manager letting him smell the coffee very early, just like how Guardiola did to Joat. When Joat left Manchester United, he became nobody afterwards. He went to Torino. Torino didn't go well. I think he went
to Celtic or something like that.
I think he first came
back to the Premier League. Yeah.
So it's just and Joatu is also similar. He won 2 Golden Gloves, I think, and as well just faded out because he was not the goalkeeper that could play with his feet. And I'm seeing a similar trend that's going to happen like that to David De Gea, except he wants to go and make money.
We'll see how it pans out. But once again, it's just a brutal nature. We also don't know what has transpired. Maybe in coming days we'll have a better understanding of what has happened behind the scenes. I get a feeling that maybe United also could have postulated to the hey, you can stay, but you'll be second choice because you're going to go for another goalkeeper, and maybe he feels, hey, I can't be second choice. But in the coming days, we
want to sit on the bench for Nana, no matter what. But for me, before we leave this, let me quickly chip this in. I think a lot of people know that football is evolving, and we're gonna those days where everybody get very conventional with sit down back playing defenders.
Can make an
now it's exactly now if you look at the biggest contributors for Liverpool for me are their wing backs. They're looking about Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andrew Robertson. So football is evolving over time. Unfortunately for David De Gea, he's just been caught up in that web of it's difficult for you to change as a player. They can move you from 7 to 11. They can move you from 8 to 10. But as a goalkeeper, you have to be at the end point of the team, even though they say the team starts from you. But most times, most of the formations ends with the goalkeeper. What do you want the goalkeeper to do? You want him to stand by the left side of the post, or stand by the right side of the post, or remain in the middle. It's very difficult. Goalkeepers are not as flexible as outfield players are supposed to be. So for me, I think the biggest just look at the fact that he will get good money if he chooses to go to the MLS, or if he chooses to go to, Inter Miami is packing everybody now. It looks like they want to go and do this team 3 of Barcelona in MLS. It looks like Suarez, they even thought that they want to bring Suarez over. So maybe you should go to the MLS, go join the boys, or go to Saudi Arabia. I'm sure the girl will still come out like £50 million from Saudi Arabia.
Alright, the good thing is that he gets a huge and a very sweet sign-on fee. He doesn't have to bother about United getting the for him. But this has divided the United fans. Some have the opinion that it's been unfairly treated. Unfair. He just always had to go, especially the manager who has the way he wants to play his football. But I'm sure that everybody will move on. But here's the problem: this sets up Andre Onana really badly, because for every error, for every flap at every process, will be seen from that microscope. But
Paul Merson is really licking his lips.
Onana is a big boy, he can always deal with it.
Paul Merson is licking his lips.
Let's talk Chelsea. We just a few minutes ago heard Pochettino, and he spoke on a couple of issues. Let's start with needing time to make Chelsea challenge for silverware. And Wisdom, you're the Chelsea fan here. Pochettino said, and I like what he did. He said, I know in football there is no patience. In football, it is difficult to wait. So basically, he knows that this Chelsea is not a process. It is a project that has to start earning dividends almost immediately.
Yes, like just as he has said, the Chelsea fans has tested success in the last few years. So we are already
In the last 10 years or 15 years, nobody has won more trophies.
Nobody. That's the successful English club side.
So we are already used to success, and this patient, like me personally, I'm not expecting much from them for now because the project just started. Because most of our players, the players that won the Champions League, like about 2 or 3 are just remaining now from the starting lineup of that Champions League, the last Champions League we won. So I think we can be a little more patient with these guys. like me personally,
I see you are the one pay.
Yes. Me personally, I'm not expecting much from them for now.
Anyways, since 2005, no club in England has won more trophies than Chelsea. Roland, they finished 12 last season. Chelsea fans are not in any mood for any talk of transition. They want to get back to where they used to be.
A lot of Chelsea fans I've spoken to, they have been speaking about their excitement, how they are ready to go and enter top 4 and even win Champions League. And I'm just like, we should
allow them. They suffer last season.
We should relax. It's not going to happen that way. I'm sure Pochettino is very good, but he's not a magician. It will take time.
I think the Chelsea fans as well just need to just wake up. You know, the era of the big Russian oligarch has gone. Now is not the time. They need to realize that you can't just get immediate success. But I'm very happy for Pochettino. Why am I happy is that he's having less pressure, and in terms of having less pressure is that so far this season he has not made any significant signing, any marquee big signing whereby the pressure on like you spend so X and X amount, now you must deliver. Second off is that he started off from coming, he's not playing in Europe, so which means that he has more time to relax and get his philosophy across the whole team. Thirdly is that if it doesn't win anything so far this season, it's not a terrible season. And I would be very surprised if Chelsea did not at least get to the finals of the Carabao Cup, because they are not playing in the Europe, so which means they are just
because they are not playing the
it's not because of having it easy. In terms of now you are not appease the fans, you need to get something that will have them at your back.
I think the benefit of Chelsea not playing European football next season with Poch is that he affords Poch and his team a lot of time on the training ground. And if there's anything about Pochettino, his teams are very, very, very fit. So there'll be emphasis on fitness, emphasis on pressing, and all of that can be achieved on the training ground. So it means that Premier League football done Saturday, Sunday, they have all week again to get back to running and get back to being fit, and you probably start seeing the dividends towards the end of the season or in the long term, the upper season. That's why we start seeing manifestation of what Pochettino is doing with the team. Maybe also helps them with a longer cup run, because they don't have to bother.
Exactly. I was going to come to that. The fact that they won't be playing in Europe means that they will probably have to focus on even within the rebuilding process. I mean, getting.
Whenever we said Arsenal being knocked out of everything, we allowed them to focus. That was the moment they started losing.
I think for Chelsea, the era of Mauricio Pochettino is not a particularly new era. Even though he's been doing some clearing and forwarding a lot of players, moving out. Bringing in politics, brought in Jackson, brought in Nkunku, and it's obvious that they're still going to bring a couple of players in. I don't know how they want to be able to convince Lukaku if he's going to come back on the 13th, which is this new.
They're not trying to convince him to stay. They want to sell him. I think what Chelsea want to do with Lukaku is get some good money for him. They probably thought he would have been interested in going to Saudi Arabia.
Exactly, and it doesn't look like that. So I think for me, it's going to be very tough. Now, Chelsea had a really terrible season last season, and the fans could give excuse of the fact that we brought in a manager, we let go of the manager, we brought in another manager, let go of the manager, we brought in Lampard again, let go of Lampard. Whatever happened at the end of last season stayed in last season. Now, Wisdom said something that Chelsea fans have tasted success. It's not like someone that has tasted blood. It's going to be very difficult to quench that energy. They've been the successful English club side in the last 15 seasons. They've won 2 Champions League, they've won the UEFA Cup and the Europa League. Yes. They've won the Premier League, they've won the World Cup competition, they've won the FIFA World Cup, they've won everything they could win at the club level. So the question is how long will the Chelsea fans continue to say, yeah, we are rebuilding? The Graham Potter project with a 5 years master plan. It didn't last 5 years.
Chelsea fans don't believe in rebuilding.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
For all of the success you guys have attributed to Chelsea since 2005, Do you know what it has been based on, the foundation? It has been based on the foundation of hiring and firing managers.
And it has worked.
That's why I said I'll be very surprised if he doesn't get to.
And that's why Poch says that. See, I understand what I'm coming into when I was asked about the fire situation in Chelsea. I understand it. We need to get to work. We need to start winning games, starting from the Liverpool game. Two of the greatest moments of the club had come in. Let me put it this way. In like caretaker position, because they had exactly. They signed Andres Villas-Boas. They brought in Roberto Di Matteo, a team that literally struggled in the Premier League. They won the Champions League. Yeah, they let go of what's his name, of Frank Lampard. The same team that Lampard said was not ready to compete. Thomas Tuchel came through. They won the Champions League. So the two times they won the Champions League were supposed to be the most difficult era in the history of the club side, and they delivered. So the fans will not necessarily have all of the pressure. I remember we talked that thing here.
When Benitez
exactly.
He was not the fans' favorite.
When we had that conversation here, and they were saying, one of our guys was saying, "Oh, it's a long-term project, 5 years," and I said, "There's no way." There's no way Chelsea will buy into the 5-year master plan project. Even these owners are not long-term guys. They might be offering long-term contracts. But it's because they want to protect assets, not because they're saying we are patient with you. No. Everybody wants to win. Alright, even Arsenal have changed their philosophy. They also want to win now. Alright, Pochettino also talked about how much say he will have on signings. He says he has a good relationship with Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart, so there should be no problems about that. But I point at EBN, this one is a coach signing, this one is a club signing. And Poch also talked about if the owners will be allowed into the changing room after games. But he said, hey, first of all, we need to understand that these guys own the football club. And everybody needs to respect that. But another thing is to talk about how we need to behave, because that is an important thing. And he says, hey, if you guys give me a heads up that you're coming to the changing room, then I'm fine by that, but just don't bump into because there's a sanctity of the dressing room. You just don't want to break it. And they appeared a lot last season. We're seeing Todd Bowley in the dressing room at Chelsea before and after games. Pochettino also talked about whether he wants to sign Harry Kane. Hey, another diplomatic response there. Chelsea got 8 goals last season, and you can understand, but it says, hey, Kane is someone I worked with about 5 years, but we're not thinking towards that line. But you get a feeling, guys, that if Harry Kane stays put at Spurs this season, runs down his contract next season, hey, Chelsea might be also an attractive proposition for Harry Kane, right?
If he decides to stay in London, and if he decides,
if I was Harry Kane, I would choose to stay in London. I would choose to stay in England.
You know, and he doesn't want to look at, and doesn't want to. If he decides to just be someone like Mount, you know, despite saying his childhood dream and the likes, he eventually went to one of their first rivals. If he doesn't want to look at it that way, whereby he doesn't look at maybe sentiment side of it, of like, I don't want to go to another London team playing against. If he wants to know that he wants to playing. He has the baggage, it has the leverage now going into next season if he doesn't leave this season, which means he can negotiate a better terms. He can decide to go to any of the top teams, aside from Chelsea.
Let me
to Liverpool, because by that time now, because he can still enter that Liverpool team and still deliver 2-3 seasons.
Let me ask you something. If you happen to be Harry Kane at the moment, what do you think is stop on Harry Kane's mind now? You think he's settling in one club, or looking at the future of one club, or going to become the leader of one club? Harry Kane is making any move he wants to make now.
He has to be for
trophy-related move. A club where you know that even if it is the domestic league of that club, you know Bayern will win the German Bundesliga 2 of the next 10 of the next 10 seasons.
You know what? Let's put a hold, because we're wrapping up the show with Harry Kane. We'll talk more Harry Kane and how this week might be a very, very interesting and crucial one for Harry Kane wherever he's going to. But back to Pochettino, he also talked about who his captain will be. He says, first of all, they need to build the squad, take a look at the players, meet with all the players, feel the players, then he will make a decision. But we know that the big favourites for that position has to be Thiago Silva, that if he plays much, and maybe Reece James too. You know, I think those are the 2 players who might be looking at that captainship. On Lukaku, he says Lukaku needs to report to camp on the 12th or the 13th of next month. Like with all the players, first thing they do is arrive, come to his office, see him. He says that is what he expects if he's still a Chelsea player. He earns about £340,000 a week. He needs to be professional, report to Chelsea. I know he doesn't want to play for the club anymore, but they pay your wages. I mean, those are FT wages, but Chelsea wants to get him off that wage bill, and they have to find an understanding with Inter Milan. Hopefully that also can happen in the summer. I think that was about it. Let's get back to more calls. This is my next caller. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, your name and where you're calling us from.
You have a Solomon. Good afternoon, long time.
Hey Solomon, long time. How are you?
Now, this is one of the issues that I always have with Nigerian journalists. One of your colleagues there called a Jackson, who have not ever achieved anything in football, a good player. How can you say Chelsea gets a good player, Jackson and Nkuku? I can even talk about them this give him 40%. Jackson, what has he achieved? And we are calling him a good player. Thank you.
I can understand this. Jackson was playing third-tier football in Spain just 2 years ago, and his breakthrough season was just last year. He scored about 7 goals. He's gone in for big money. I don't know much about Nick Jackson. All I know is, he's Senegalese.
And he played with Chukwueze last
time. Yeah, played Sam Chukwueze. That's all we know.
But a lot of people will feel they got better because of Chukwueze.
But to be honest, if Chelsea snaps you up for about 30 million, maybe there's something in there. So we'll see what happens when he gets cracking this next season. Hello. Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's evening already. It's evening already up there. Yeah, it's evening. It's 4:21. It's 4:21.
Okay, I think it's anything from 5.
It's on 4 o'clock. It's on 4 o'clock.
That's how it depends where I'm calling from. I don't said I'm calling from Lagos.
Okay.
After the country.
I can see your number now. I can see your number now. I can even see your location. I can see your location. I get the lower.
Okay, tell me where.
I get the lower.
Please, why don't you update me with what is going on in Unicom, please? I joined the program a bit late.
Alright, thank you very much. Yesterday was Rebel Stars against Enyimba 2-1. And today I understand Yobe Stars are in action. I think that game should be kicking off anytime now, 4:30. That's when that game kicks off at the Super 8 tourney. And there's plenty of money raining down. Playing is about 3 million naira.
Sorry, the game between Aqua United and Yobe Desert Stars just finished.
Okay.
The Promise Keepers have taken all of the 3 points. Aqua United 2, Yobe Desert Stars 1.
Okay, both of them also have taken 3 million naira too.
Hello, John One. Great place coming back.
Oh, goodness, welcome back.
This Super 8, I'm watching it. I'm on my radio and I'm watching team with the football. But after this game, the game won't put a call give the man of the match one big thing. I don't understand that kind of thing for Mike.
We talked about it quickly yesterday on the show. Goodness, one of the sponsors of the Super 8 is an indigenous brewery company. So it's more like an indigenous emblem. It looks funny, but I think it's just a way of celebrating their culture. Maybe if you go through the sponsors of the Super 8, then you understand the particular company, a brewery company that we're talking about, then you understand where that particular man of the match, made that. I call it breastplate of righteousness. That's what I called it yesterday. You understand where it came from? I can't, start doing PR for the company. But if you go into the sponsors, then you understand that a particular brewery company from a particular region is putting heavy money on the Super 8, and that emblem is a representation of that particular region.
Alright, let's get back to more calls. Okay, you might just probably have to come help me out with this screen. Let's read this message on YouTube. It says, what's the update on the transfer window? Okay. Afternoon, guys. I'm 100% sure the Mount will bring Masterclass Disasters United. You should have done a proper research before accepting the number 7 jersey. Please, what's the update with Caicedo? Chelsea and Brighton still in talks. Nothing official yet, but we also understand that he has agreed personal terms already with the club. So, hello? Alright, please to call us back. Ugo Goldstein says that alright, hello caller?
Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon, good evening.
Good evening. Wow, you picked my call the first time you offered.
So sorry about that, we're trying to figure out something, okay? So sorry about that.
Okay, good evening guys. This is Sebas Mahmoud.
Oh, so welcome.
Okay, I think people should try and stop getting sentimental about one thing that clubs do, even though they are fans. I believe that the reason why I don't like the way that Bujo was scouted. But I feel the reason why they are going for Onana is based on what coach wants in terms of style of play, which Bujo might not be able to offer. And then for somebody saying that that is not a good player because he hasn't achieved anything, I don't really understand. It's a combination of all the players in the team that makes us a good team, and when they achieve something. If you pick out the Chelsea team players individually, many of them are not good players, including the Kai Havertz that they sold for how many millions? Because I know that Tunde Young never fails to realize how terrible Kai Havertz play has been. As so please, you need to be a little bit less emotional about all these things. I mean, saying Nkunku is not a good player. Someone that was voted by German footballer of the year, so was that 2 years ago? No.
Did you know how much hype Timo Werner also came to England with?
Yeah, but the truth of the matter is this: some players are not bad. They are not just good for a particular team or system. And then the truth of the matter again is the kind of system in Chelsea, just like what you said, is chop and change. It makes it almost hard for you to evaluate how good the player is at Chelsea because the new manager comes in as much as air comes into your lungs.
All right, thank you very much for your thoughts. But back to David here, I agree with you totally. See, the ultimate decision maker at United has said that David here is not good enough for him, and United fans have to really respect that. And I mean, if you take a look at Erik ten Hag, someone I've followed for a very long time while he was at Utrecht. Every goalkeeper that has worked with Erik ten Hag have been goalkeepers who are very and extremely comfortable with the ball in the feet. Onana, Pasveer, remember Pasveer was the guy who replaced Onana after the old drug thing, the furosemide issue. Pasveer very much comfortable. Robin Reuter and David Jensen when he was at Utrecht. Few also know that he worked at Bayern Munich's second team. Zingler was a goalkeeper. Every of his goalkeeper have been comfortable with the ball at their feet. And another fans also should calm down. If Onana joins, you are still going to see a lot of that, and it's going to put you in you're going to feel a bit surprised, a bit shocked that this guy could probably progress the ball to midfield. That is what he does. It takes a lot of risk. He's a sweeper keeper. He's like a last defender. Anytime he plays. We saw it in the Champions League final against Manchester City, and you are going to get a weekly dose of that when he joins Manchester United. But that is what the manager wants.
And we have to. And if we want the manager to succeed as well, we need to allow the manager to have what he wants. And having the keeper that he wants, because he has worked with him when he was at Ajax, so it's not as if maybe he's just coming to work with a new person. This is someone that he trusts and he relies on, and I believe that even though I have my own skepticism about Onana's hand keeping and job, not his legs, like what he can do with his hands in terms of.
Hello. Can we just quickly take this call? Sorry, hello.
Yeah. Good evening or good afternoon, whichever one.
Yeah, it's evening. It's evening.
Well, they agree to.
I agree too.
And I agree the people there too.
Good evening.
So I want to know. I'm a Man City fan. Anyway.
All right. When did you start supporting Manchester City? I like to know.
This is 2006 when McHugh was there.
Oh, fantastic! So I mean, you go way back with the Citizens.
Yes.
I just wanted to know. I just wanted to know.
You said?
I just wanted to know.
Yes, it's 2006.
That's lovely. That's lovely. All right, we'll get you some updates on Manchester City.
Yes, I want the update.
Okay, we'll do that. What's up with Man City? At a point in time last season, we were questioning Pep about his lack of fullbacks. Then he went on to say, we'll not get fullbacks, but guess what? He starts playing central defenders all across his backline, right? Yes. And I think he's going to stick with that this season. Looking at the kind of players he still wants to bring in, Josko Gvardiol is not a left back, right? There's a left-sided central defender who can also play left back.
Switch. I think for me, beyond the players that are even coming in, I think we had this conversation yesterday. It's going to be really difficult right now. We saw Liverpool got to this level after they won the much coveted English Premier League, not even the Champions League. Now you look at the success story at Manchester City. They won the Premier League back to back, just like Crystal Palace did. But now they've won arguably their most sought after trophy, which is the FA Champions League. Now, how do you keep the players motivated? How to keep them going forward? We saw the way Liverpool declined after they won the Premier League. I mean, but
you know that conversation can never ever
be respect
applied to
you
Manchester.
can't be too sure.
You know why?
You can't be
because they've done it over time and over time and over time.
I'm talking about how do you consistently sustain success?
Wait. How do you consistently win 3 Premier League titles back to back to back?
They've won the Champions League now, and you just have a feeling that everybody knows about the obsession of Pep Guardiola with Man City, with the Champions League.
I don't think it was obsessed. It was never obsessed. He only admitted that this competition is hard to win.
Yeah, I mean, he probably will come and tell that I'm obsessed with the Champions League.
If you are talking about obsession is what PSG have with the Champions League, and which they have not achieved.
And you think Man City are not obsessed? They are, but they are almost $1 billion.
But what they have with the Champions League is there's healthy and unhealthy obsession. I hope you know that. Yes, City have grown organically towards trying to crack the Champions League code, and they've done that. How?
Before we crack the code now,
yes.
How do you keep them motivated to want to crack the code?
How many people have defended the Champions League?
Real Madrid.
When did they do it? How many times have they done it?
We do it back to back to back.
It is difficult to do, but what I'm saying is that what we've seen over the years with Pep Guardiola is that the way he does it refreshes his squad, and because see the outcome of consistency of constant success, you know the output. It is complacency. When you've had success back to back to back, it is natural that you want to be a bit lax. But Guardiola has always managed to
and I believe that he actually set the tone for Bayern Munich when he went to Bayern Munich.
Yeah,
it was when he started his own dynasty. Even though Bayern Munich won the league before he came in, but when he started his dynasty, it was now very difficult to replicate, and that was why they start. People didn't even actually remember that Ancelotti was actually the one who replaced Pep Guardiola.
Yep.
And Ancelotti was discarded. So many people need to, and this is the reason why managers are being paid. Your job is to ensure that we keep on winning. And what people don't understand, the difference between PSG and Manchester City is that Manchester City actually invested so that they're able to compete. They want to be part of the top clubs in European top football. And with Pep Guardiola, and one thing that actually going for Pep Guardiola is that what Pep Guardiola does is he ensures that if a player wants to leave, he doesn't like to keep an unhappy player in his team. And that was what happened to Joao Cancelo. Despite the praises of Cancelo over for the past couple of years, and even saying that he has reinvented the right back position, he eventually allowed Cancelo to leave by January, which means that he's not afraid to make big decisions. And Pep Guardiola is the manager that if there's anyone when you want to talk about complacency, it is never for Pep Guardiola.
Never. And when Cancelo is back at the club,
he would Guardiola already made mention of it that he's not going to have he's not going to.
Yeah, it looks like there's some irreconcilable differences between those two guys.
Because the news that he reacted somehow, I think in the dressing room.
I think it was post World Cup, and things just didn't go post World Cup
in the dressing room, and Guardiola corrected him, and he didn't, and he plugged in his earbuds, and he was just listening to music.
Hello.
I get you guys especially in the studio.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, as far as the City fan.
Oh, back to back City fans.
Exactly.
It's going to be a good day.
See, the man that was saying that complacency is not in our dictionary. What we know how to do best is to win, and I trust Guardiola. His hunger for success will continue, and what I know for sure going into next season, we are defending all our titles. I'm certain about that. The Guardiola,
I can smell the overconfidence in your voice, but you've earned it.
For a manager that won the Carabao Cup 4 times, despite him winning the domestic treble that has never been done. And when they asked for Alex Ferguson, he said that he doesn't think it's possible for anyone to win the 3 domestic titles. He won the 3 domestic titles, still went on to win 2 back-to-back Premier League titles. It shows that he's a manager that is obsessed with success. It's not just about winning just one particular title. He wants to leave his mark.
Hello. Good evening.
I count this one too. Count this Man City fan too.
That's 3 City fans.
That is what we did just last season. So let me tell you, if you want to know Man City main business, just go and listen to Man City chairman, no matter what you say. Every end of the season, this guy used to make one press conference 1 hour. He said after the winning of Champions League, he have started thinking about next season. But the reason why they did not discuss it, he just want to give the players just the benefit of the let them just enjoy this moment. Now that is not in our dictionary, as the last caller said. You can see even one is trying to show you what Man City did 3 times. 3 times. It's only Man City did it too, and we did it 3 times. This guy in the last 7 years of Togo, we have won 5 Premier League. 4 Premier League. Then what next do you want these guys to do? And they will do more.
All right, thank you very much for your thoughts there. And I actually feel that we have to be very, very, very wary of City next season from a defensive phase. So, I mean, when City play their football, their side will create so much and don't score that much. Not that they don't score, but for all of the goals, the chance they create, you feel they don't convert plenty. And on the other side, once the opposition has one chance against like this, that opposition scores. But towards the end of last season, we saw them going to another level of their defense by playing those 4 centre backs: Nathan Ake, Akanji,
Stones and Diaz.
No, Stones was even pushing into midfield. Basically, Stones and Diaz.
It starts from the 4.
But those, like Pep said after the Champions League final, playing those 4 defenders ensures that they can now enjoy defending. They never enjoyed doing it because of the 2 fullbacks who always bomb forward. But now they have that security that whatever happens, they have got an extra layer of security with their 4 centre backs, and is going to proceed with that. And I mean, I remember when Stoke City used to do that, and we used to criticize them. I said, like 4 centre backs will play all through the back line for Stoke City. I think West Brom also used to do it way back in the Premier League, and now Pep is doing it, but it's all looking classy in our eyes right now because it's Pep Guardiola.
Because when you now have to look at it, what were Stoke City doing? What they were doing is they were just sitting back and allowing more pressure. What Pep Guardiola is doing is he ensures that couple of the centre back plays more of an hybrid position whereby they're talking into the midfield or they're talking into the left wing. At times Nathan Ake plays as a left winger, as a wing back, left wing back, in trying to show up the midfield, which enhances Goodwin to move approach to press forward, and whereby him and John Stones stay and try and just more of like an anchor position, and that even actually gave Rodri the pressure. Good afternoon. Good evening, rather.
Hello. It's a follow now. You say good afternoon. Calling back. I hope this today's program is being recorded just because of the Man City supporters. Please record it because I feel bad about it. That's just right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now how about we do another music break? Let's just quickly take that music break, and we'll be back with American wrapping up the show with that. Let's do some Shantizo on the show, and it's about 4:39. We'll be back in the next 4 or 5 minutes, and we'll be wrapping up things with Hurricane. What's next for Spurs' talisman?
I don't want to illegal, and I like to party. I'm so crazy. I'm at 2-5. Shalubari Kaloju, Shami Ope. Alubari Kaloju, Baba Dari Jimmy. Cause I'm in the street like every day. I also make it back the greatest. So, Shibolo Lage. Shibolo no shamo. Shibolo no shaye. Don't about to check out my oversee. Once upon a time, when I know girls used to once upon a time, when I know girls used to Body, Baba Jari, cause I'm in the street like every day. Also making my niggas so she go low like it. She go low, no shama. She go low, no shaggy. Don't go back to bed, check out my body again. I'm so good, sugar money
Welcome back, Sports Quiz, Saturday Sports Quiz on Mela 90.3 FM with over 62,000 retweets and over 306,000 likes. Started the year as the tweet said his farewell message to Manchester United supporters, and it says he would love to express his unwavering gratitude and appreciation for the love from the last 12 years since Sir Alex Ferguson brought him down to Manchester United. And it's been a very emotional roller coaster. He posted pictures of his Premier League titles when he got unveiled alongside Sir Alex Ferguson, his 540 appearances plaque, and so many more. I remember the Arsenal game where he made 17 saves. Yeah, was it 2 seasons ago? I think about 17 saves in that game. That's the highest in a Premier League game. He's provided plenty of clutch moments for Manchester United. Alright, we have to wrap things up in the next 15-17 minutes. I'll do that talking Harry Kane. Step forward. Let's talk about Harry Kane, and this week they're going into. By the way, why does this Harry Kane situation feel like 2021? It feels like we've been here before. And what happened in 2021? Man City came looking for Harry Kane. So instead of Bayern Munich now, it was Man City then. And Kane wants to move. He wanted to move in 2021. Personal terms also were agreed with Manchester City. But just like Bayern, City didn't come close to making an offer that Spurs couldn't refuse. Now, do you think that Bayern are ready to go the extra mile to be able to prove to Daniel Levy that, hey, here's an offer you cannot afford to refuse Harry Kane?
I think the whole Harry Kane drama is quite unfortunate on two sides. You have a club owner in Daniel Levy that doesn't particularly want any extra motivation for the team to win as such, and I totally agree with Tony Young's position on the fact that Tottenham Hotspur never set up as a team that's ready to compete. I think a lot of us have always seen them as a team living in the shadow of Arsenal. That was when the first time they finished ahead of Arsenal when they qualified for the Champions League, they celebrated like they won the Premier League, and that's actually the highest. They've been around that space so much that people think that it's Tottenham Hotspur qualifying for the Champions League supposed to be like a big achievement for them, and they did it over and over again. But on the part of Harry Kane, you look at everything Harry Kane had done for Tottenham Hotspur. He's grown through the ranks. He's arguably the best. I don't want to say the greatest Tottenham Hotspur player of all time, but then he's arguably the greatest. You can put the facts on the table. He's the record goal scorer for them. He's eclipsed that particular record. He's gotten everything done for them. But that's the resistance also wrong with them. Exactly, that's where I'm coming in from. Now, one was
Audi Cup.
You are the captain of the national team, and then you have boys around you that have tasted victory, won the Champions League, won the Premier League. You look at him,
Kyle Walker left him at Spurs, and
Kyle Walker paid you. So the question is this: Harry Kane knows that he's crossing into 30. He doesn't have all of the luxury. He's an English player. You hardly ever see English players leave England to go play. When David Beckham left, he was arguably like the biggest English player around that time. Even when Michael Owen left, he had to come back. When Ronaldo went to Bayern, he was almost done and dusted when he came back, won the Premier League again with Manchester United and Manchester City. But for Harry Kane, like I was asking Tyler the other time, the priority for Harry Kane now is trophy. you probably will just think, you don't know what is in his mind. The mind of Harry Kane, I would probably feel what should be in his mind is win a trophy. So the destination is going to be very clear. I need to go to a team that is sure to compete for the Champions League, but is certain to win their own domestic league. And nobody gives you that assurance except of course it's Manchester City. And when Manchester City name came up, even before they went to sign Jack Grealish, in fact it was the money they were supposed to sign Harry Kane that they took to sign Jack Grealish from Aston Villa. For me, I think Harry Kane knows that this is probably going to be the next big transfer window that will open for him to get a slot out. Now, Dele knows he owns the ace. I mean, the fact that Harry Kane doesn't even earn as much as £300,000 or £250,000 it's crazy.
But it's also basic economics. Remember that Kane came from the Spurs system, so that means he's not earning big. So his contract gradually gets improved upon. So the last one he signed was a 5 or 4 year contract on improved terms of £200,000.
Sometimes I think
so. It's a bit strange that the likes of Mason Mount earn, but it's because of the
Nigerian in me is making me think that Elevi is using juju for Harry Kane.
Actually, I've always found fault with those who have been managing Harry Kane's career, and I feel like they haven't always tried to get the best for Harry Kane. Daniel Levy has always
played is world class.
Daniel Levy has always played hardball with Kane. And Spurs are just so lucky that they've got a player who is so level-headed, who is also very much keen on protecting his legacy at the club and hasn't tried to down tools. Although he has told me before, 2021 same still remember that he didn't report for pre-season. In fact, he didn't travel. He didn't even travel with them. It was later on he got back into recording with the team. They came back and met him at home. Exactly, but do you think that will happen again? They are also scheduled to travel to Australia, I think, next weekend. Pre-season training starts on July 12th. Do you think he will throw that line again and say, hey, maybe it didn't happen in 2021, but maybe I should down tools again and tell Ange Postecoglou I'm not going to put
I really hope the fans would understand Harry Kane's position, and that's me thinking that his feels are let me protect my record here. But I think he has the biggest record he could get for them. He's their records goal scorer, and I don't think he can get anything else with Tottenham Hotspur. See, regardless of what happens, he will get that statue. But regardless of what happens,
he could still go to pre-season with Spurs and still leave the club. Gareth Bale, he went on pre-season, did nonsense in Hong Kong. Do you know back and went to Real Madrid.
At the end of the day, you ask yourself, I think this conversation came up a couple of years back in where I was before, is Harry Kane world class? Harry Kane has been world class for the past 5 seasons. For someone that even when he's injured, he still finishes the season in double figures. Even when Son Heung-min was in the peak of his glory, Harry Kane still finished in double figure. Even when Tottenham Hotspur were in the deepest of their mess, Harry Kane still finished in double figure. So the question is this: what exactly is Daniel Levy telling Harry Kane that's making him end that low and is still keeping him in that club? And I think Daniel Levy still has the guts to still be putting improved contract offer on the table and say, guys, come.
Remember also in 2021 they also gave him improved contract terms and he signed too. But I wanted to come to Roland real quick and Wisdom, because while we've drawn comparisons with the situation in 2021 and now, we should also look at differences. The difference in 2021 was that City didn't find it really important to sign Kane. They could still come back next season, but they found Haaland, right? But Bayern won't have that luxury. Bayern know that if we don't get this guy now, he will have the luxury of picking where he wants to play his football next season, because he will be free. And most likely, I feel, if I've got the chance to pick where I want to play, rather I stay in England and try to make that record, the highest goal scorer in Premier League history, and don't uproot my family. I've got 4 children and I live in England, and probably just stay in a club in England. And that's what Bayern have to really go all in this season and get their man, or else next season they won't be top favorites to slap him up.
I feel like there's something which Tottenham they are doing. Maybe they are taking his kids on vacation, buying houses in exotic islands, because there has to be something more than that contract that is keeping Kane. And for Bayern Munich, they urgently need him.
It's very pressing. It's a pressing.
They urgently need him, and he also needs them because he's guaranteed to play in the Champions League, and he's guaranteed, let me say 50% or let me say 70% to win the trophy with them. if he goes to Bayern Munich. He's definitely going to win the trophy and he's going to compete in Champions League, which is also going to increase his goals and appearance in Champions League. So I feel like it's a very good option for him to actually leave now than wait next year.
But check out the situation. Look at the all of this possibility. Daniel Levy has always said over time that he will not sell to a rival club in England. Not only with Kane, every player has always done it. The only exception has been Dimitar Berbatov and maybe also Michael Carrick. But I mean, Carrick's sale wasn't seen as a huge trend. He's always maintained that he's not going to sell Kane to a rival club in England. But Wisdom, check this out. If he doesn't sell Kane now, keeps him to the end of his contract, Kane most likely also will join a rival club in England. Yeah, sure. And that means I don't want to join him to join. It becomes crushed. So why don't you just quickly sell to Bayern Munich, make your money for a player who has got 1 year on his contract, and everybody moves on. And even the manager, as Spurs, can now start afresh, because you like it or not, the shadow, the statue of Harry Kane will always overshadow Ange Postecoglou as Spurs manager.
Yes, I think their story is almost similar to the one going on in France with Kylian Mbappe and Paris Saint-Germain. So I think if this Daniel Levy did not sell Harry Kane now, Harry Kane will definitely or most likely go to an English club, which he doesn't want. So I think the better option for him now is to sell him out, get the font and go your club. So that's
you now lose to a Premier League rival for free. That's devastating.
That is devastating. Sorry, it's like Arsenal.
I think ultimately, just like what Wale said, the people that have been managing Harry Kane seems to underrate who Harry Kane is. If Harry Kane was not an English player, if Harry Kane was supposed to be like an European player, maybe a Spanish player, he's playing outside of England, you would have seen the level of recognition Harry Kane would have been getting. I'm certainly not a huge, I can never be a Tottenham Hotspur sympathizer or fan, obviously because of my softness for Arsenal. But in terms of quality, in terms of what Harry Kane brings to the table, Harry Kane can do what a lot of strikers, a lot of proven strikers would never think of doing. Harry Kane will drop behind the defenders, he will drop to the midfield. Harry Kane allows for tackles in midfield. Yes. He allows for the midfield. Harry Kane allows players with potentials around him to grow. And dude knows that he doesn't have the luxury of all of the time. He doesn't have the luxury of all of that many more years ahead of him to win something. That for me, if I'm to visit Harry Kane, I will call Bayern and say, Bayern, come. I know that you 100 out of 100 you win the German Bundesliga. Come. Okay, give us 2 years. Let Harry Kane just leave trophy. Do you know what it means when you have someone like Cleverley finish his career with the Premier League medal and Harry Kane does not have anything close to that?
Anyway, so we know that Kane is keen on this move, just like he was keen on the City move in 2001. But ultimately, this is not his decision. And I mean, it's like when we are at home, or when we're young, or we're still young, right? When you ask your mom for something, but you know that it's still your dad that will make the final decision. That's just what it looks like. Exactly. I mean, Bayern already have an agreement. I mean, personal terms shouldn't be a problem with Bayern and Kane, but the ultimate decision maker is the daddy, is Daniel Levy. So we'll see if we can find a solution. Let's get back to more call lines as we wrap things up. Hello, good evening, Sports Cruise.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, welcome to Saturday Sports Cruise.
Yeah, I think I'm answering just like Mope said. I think it's a juju or something. Basically, because I feel that there's nothing stopping him. Obviously, I think he wants to. There's something wrong with him. Honestly, I have to be very, very fair because this is Bayern. Bayern comes calling. Bayern comes calling. No one will say no. And even Cleverley has a Premier League medal. How did he not just? I think he just has to force a move. I think there's a similar situation compared to what Kylian Mbappe is facing at PSG right now. If he doesn't go now, he's going to move free. And Tottenham can't afford to, let him go free. So he just have to make that decision. And if he push it this season, there's a possibility that Tottenham might at least sell him. But he's just lackluster. He doesn't know what to do. He's not even making any decisions. He's trying to claim loyalty. And there's something again I think that's stopping him from making that decision is he wants to break the Alan Shearer's record, which is possibly either goes to Manchester United, Chelsea, but he's not even saying anything, making it difficult for other clubs to get something out of it.
Thank you very much for your thoughts. I think clubs in England also haven't made things easy this summer. They haven't come out with the cash, especially United, who look like they don't have the money to spare because of FFP restrictions. They haven't been able to go all out.
Who owns United? It's not even like they don't have money to spend. Who will spend the money?
Yeah, exactly. The money Glazers or the money. So when they buy Onana, they will buy Onana without an owner now, without clarity on who's owning the club. But they have restrictions
they
right
pay for
now.
his amounts too.
Yeah, exactly. But there are restrictions on how much they can spend, so that makes it difficult also for Hello? Hello? Good evening?
Hello, Wale.
Yeah, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good evening. I greet everybody in the studio.
Good evening.
Concerning Harry Kane issue.
Concerning your name, where are you calling from? Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Matthew. I'm calling from Ikorodu.
Alright, Matthew, shoot.
The Harry Kane issue is quite kind of like one of your guys said now. It's like what I don't want to see you. They want to see gallery, no know what they do again, honestly. But for me, you guys think about this. Harry Kane in that Arsenal attack right now. How devastating?
It's a vivid imagination.
It's a wild one. It's fun.
It's not necessarily wild.
It's a vivid imagination.
Yes,
I'm not sure.
everything you have ever done is
Well, aside from that, I just feel like he might decide to just pull a Lewandowski this time around. In terms of he decided Dortmund were not willing to sell, and Lewandowski was willing to stay as well, and he decided to run down his contract, and he went to their bitter rivals, which was Bayern Munich. And even this time around, I still feel like the three of them are quite culpable in this. Both Harry Kane, Tottenham, and Bayern Munich.
Hello. Sorry. Hello.
Good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from?
No, Adeji calling from Ogun State.
Alright, Adeji, you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you. I've been following you since 2012, and I really appreciate your consistency. I may not be calling every show, but I need to listen to you. I'm a Man United fan. I'm just worried about the goalkeeping position of United. So I understand what Bayern is trying to do, start the game from behind. But you ask yourself that you have the defender that can start except Martinez that look comfortable in passing the ball. We don't have the defender. Is it Bissaka or whatever?
I guess so that Andre Onana can easily pass the ball to Rafael Varane and Lisandro Martinez. They are very comfortable with the ball.
I'm very scared. I don't know, but it's not a good center for the year. I think he should have been celebrate more. I don't know, but I wish him the best of luck. I'm scared about United passing from the line. Alright,
I'm already trying to envision our United lineup at the back next season. Onana, there is going to be Lisandro, Rafael Varane, Luke Shaw left back, and Aaron Bissaka right back. And here's the problem: if you watch Andre Onana a whole lot, is each map suggests that he likes starting his attack from the right side, right? So that means he's going to be connecting a lot with Aaron Bissaka. But what do you know about Bissaka? Bissaka also is not too good with his feet. So that is another conundrum that Eric also has to start thinking about.
Perhaps he will go with Dalot.
Maybe Dalot left to be seen, but Onana loves connecting a lot of time with his right back, so they have to fix up that chemistry. But hey, you build all of that also with time and also in precision, so they can always do that. Let's read some of your Facebook messages. CJ Gotten says, keep up the good work. I think it's high time Harry Kane left the club, either willingly or unwillingly. Levy is just a modern day wizard. Do you know how Ferguson actually described Levy? He says it is more painful to have a hip surgery than to have a negotiation.
Yeah, he showed them with Berbatov. They have actually bought Modric, but instead they sold Modric to Real Madrid because Real Madrid were willing to pay more.
Yes, we have to go. Thank you very much, guys, for joining in. And okay.
Yes, one of the members of the sport desk, Juwon, tomorrow is his birthday. Okay, he didn't join us today. So on behalf of every one of us here on Milan 98.3 FM Sport Desk, Juwon, I say a big happy birthday to you. Tomorrow, maybe next week, you bring the cake for us. Happy birthday to you, Juwon.
Alright, thank you very much. Happy birthday to my friend too, Bidemi Salami. Happy birthday to you, bro. Long life and prosperity. That guy, please. Bidemi, God bless you and have a great one. To everyone who's been a part of the show, thank you very much. Tayo, Wisdom, and Roland. See you next week, Monday, with the Monday edition of Sports Cruise. Good night and have a great week ahead. See you Monday.